Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother.
Welcome back to another episode of the Kohrs Show, where I am your favorite Pico influencer to ever walk this planet or any other. And we're in for a good show today. Welcome back to another episode of the MK Show, the Kohrs Show. Today it is Monday. What's it, the 29th? I want to say it's January the 29th, but I'm not really necessarily sure I believe in the Gregorian calendar. Not sure I ever really believed in the Gregorian calendar. Folks, I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I hope whatever you set your mind to do over the weekend, you did that and then some. I hope you absolutely crushed it. I hope you crushed trading last week. And if you were watching the old footballs games last night, I hope you were either a Chiefs fan or a 49ers fan. Because if you were a Ravens fan or if you were a Lions, dude, if you were a Lions fan, oh, I feel for you. That was brutal. Personally, I'm a fan of both the Lions and the 49ers. I was just kind of excited to watch a good game, and it was a good game. But I myself was a bit heartbroken over the whole Chiefs-Ravens thing, and I truly have no issue with Patrick Mahomes. I really have no problem with Patrick Mahomes whatsoever. I think he's a fine guy. He's obviously a phenomenal athlete. He's a phenomenal quarterback. He's on his way. I mean, he's already like a legacy quarterback. But I'm saying like he's on clearly the path to become potentially in the conversation for being the GOAT. My issue with the Chiefs is I just cannot stand his wife. Dude, her videos, those TikToks, how she has filmed herself treating other people, and then the other stories that come out of just people who've had to deal with her. Patrick Mahomes' wife and Patrick Mahomes' brother are just so incredibly intolerable. I just cannot fucking stand them whatsoever. I think Patrick Mahomes would be far better off if he hit the old restart button and just did his own thing. Like I said, I like that guy. He seems cool. I like him. He's an athlete. I respect it. And I think he's just a good human. I don't know how he has the brother he has, and I don't know how he has the wife that he has. It blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. So because of that, your boy's going to be coming. I'm going to be pulling hard for the 49ers. 100% going to be pulling for the 49ers. Purdy, I think it'd be so cool if, quote unquote, Mr. Irrelevant, which if for those of you who don't know, I just found this out recently, is the title they give the person who is drafted last in the entire draft, which is Brock Purdy. If Mr. Irrelevant ends up becoming the Super Bowl champ, that would be awesome. That like what a good storyline, what a good narrative. I think that would be so incredibly cool if the guy who literally the NFL establishment is like, you suck, we're barely going to even let you in this league. And then if he ends up becoming the starting quarterback, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. So I'm pulling for them. I think we have 2 weeks out. And actually, I'm going to be in Vegas for that. I didn't realize that the Super Bowl was in Vegas. And I was a little bit confused of why my flights were so expensive. I was like, I get that people love gambling, but are they literally flying to Vegas to gamble on the game? And then I realized it's because the game's there. So it's definitely by far the most expensive plane ticket I've ever had to buy, but should still be fun. Folks. I guess we could get into it. Dude, how did my bets go, actually? I was slinging some bets, and I did all right on the first game. I hit 2 and I missed 1. But is my account net ahead, or did I drop? I think I went 2 for 4 in the second game. Dude, I bet on Purdy getting over 280. No, yeah, that one didn't hit. He must have had 260 something. I also bet on Kittle getting more yards, and he didn't really get it. But McCaffrey had it. Well, you can't win them all. You cannot win them all, so maybe I should have looked at my betting account. Speaking of my betting account, folks, maybe you kind of missed it last week, but obviously via Apex with all those prop accounts, I had 20 of them. 3 of them are challenge accounts. It's Rumble Chat versus YouTube Chat versus the Wheel of Destiny, and the competition's heating up. But that's only 3 of the 20. I have 17 other accounts that were PA accounts I was attempting to get money on, and I blew them all out because I'm a tilted, greedy little degenerate trader, so that didn't work well. But if you also caught it on Friday, you know that I repassed the test on those 17 accounts, so they are once again live today. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more calm, cool, collected about those ones. But just so you know, today's the final day of Apex's current deal of 80% off and a 1-day pass thing. So if you are interested in paying less money and potentially passing the challenge in one single day, today's the day that I believe it ends at market close today. So that's all in the description of the video, all that good jazz, just so you know. But it does conclude today, and I'm sure it'll be like a week or two, and then they'll end up running another deal. But what's interesting about this one, of course, 80% off is good. I'm not going to complain about that. But what I really like is the 1-day pass stuff, opposed to having to trade 7 individual days. So I'm a bigger fan of that. Matt, how do I day trade working 8 to 5? Take breaks from work? I don't know. I don't know your life, dude. I don't know. Quit your job. Dude, trading's incredibly easy. Incredibly easy. I don't know why everyone just doesn't quit their job and spend their entire life savings on it, because it's like the easiest thing you could ever possibly do. Like, I don't even know why you're still working. That blows my mind. It completely blows my mind. What was this? For the record, I'm not saying either was rigged. I don't think they were rigged. I mean, I was actually kind of surprised. In the very first game, there were a couple calls. I know the Chiefs ended up winning, but there were a couple calls where, early on, it was either the first or the second quarter, there was clearly a first down that the refs just did not give the Chiefs, and then they went for it on 4th and mid. Like, there were a couple calls that I was like, I don't know if they're babying the Chiefs as much as like the world wants you to believe. I'm sure there are certain plays you could have pointed out that like the Chiefs got a little bit of a benefit, but it's not like across the board they're like always getting the upper hand. Do the entire football league is rigged? I don't believe that. I think that's too conspiratorial. I don't think there's like enough evidence of it. I think there's fortunate and unfortunate breaks throughout the season for various teams, and I think it cuts back and forth in both directions. And I think the conspiracy of like, oh, it's completely rigged, people just pointed out when it like particularly negatively impacts their team. And I think we all do that because we're all in like the tribe of our own team, and we're all fans. We want our team to win. So it happens. It happens. But here is the plan. I appreciate you joining me a little bit early on this beautiful Monday. It's actually really crappy out here in New York today. But anywho, we have a lot to get into. So obviously, we're going to be closer to market open. We're going to be doing our normal degenerate trades. So start putting on your thinking cap of if today's going to be bullish or bearish. Get ready for that. We're going to be doing it right at market open at 9:30. Before that, I want to do a bit of a breakdown of just the key things to pay attention to this week. It is an FOMC week. So the FOMC meeting, that's the Fed, like basically the almost financial Illuminati deciding what to do with the Fed fund rate. The meeting starts tomorrow, concludes on Wednesday. We get the results at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, and then Jerome Powell will be speaking at 2:30 on Wednesday. So definitely prep up for that. From there, we also have a ton of earnings this week. Meta, aka Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, just to name a few, but those 4 alone, Google as well, those 5 alone represent a massive percentage based on market cap of the entire S&P 500, all going down this week. So we have a lot of macroeconomic reports coming, just like scheduled ones. Then obviously we have a bunch of earnings. And then from there, it does seem as if political turmoil is kind of picking up a bit. So within the presidential U.S. election here, we have some craziness going on with Trump, obviously being served some losses in the court of law. And then we also have some wild stuff going on with Biden and illegal immigrants and what's happening with Texas down at the border. And Texas is like, hey, brother, don't forget we're the Lone Star State, and we're about to pop off because we're full of a bunch of cowboys and we ain't scared of this shit. So there's definitely some political turmoil there. Early this morning, Nikki Haley was on with CNBC, and she was talking about her normal warmongering type of stuff. She was talking about what's going on with Jordan and the Red Sea. There was a drone attack, and unfortunately, I believe at this point, 3 different U.S. service members did lose their lives from these attacks. So we're seeing oil's price start to really pick up here. Then there was... what was the senator's name? I believe there was a senator. He's like, hey, we need to respond like fast and hard. And then you look at his stock portfolio and it's all defense contractors. So we're going to get a little bit into that. I have some positive news on crypto of what the whales are doing. Obviously, with it being blockchain and tracked on the ledger, you can see who the big boys are in the world of Bitcoin. And we can see that they're actually continuing to increase. So this whole time, even though price took a bit of a dip after the spot BTC, approval, the spot BTC ETF approval, I should say, the whales have been loading up. So a little bit of positivity there. Lots to get into. Obviously, over the weekend, it seems like that's when a lot of you guys particularly find a lot of the things to react to. So we have a lot of reacts, and I'm sure between now and the end of the stream, there's going to be other crazy things that randomly pop up. So let's make a good one. Let's have a good day. Yes, I see a lot of people asking about Rumble and the TLDR on it. I already tweeted it out. All of the metrics related to the bets against Rumble, the bets against free speech, are increasing, and not just a little bit, dramatically. The shares on loan, the estimated short interest, the cost to borrow, the utilization, and the short score from Ortex, all 5 major metrics related to, are there actually people betting against this stock? They all went up every single day of last week. As in, Monday was greater than Friday, Tuesday more than Monday, Wednesday more than Tuesday, Thursday more than Wednesday, and Friday more than Thursday, and now Monday relative, like as we're starting off today, the numbers are continuing to go up and up and up. So specifically to the people who are watching on Rumble, or even the people watching on YouTube who either support Rumble ideologically and saying, hey, yeah, free speech is important, or maybe you're in stock, or maybe you're playing degenerate call options. Obviously, I cannot at any point ever guarantee price going up or down. All I can tell you is my interpretation of the current metrics, and the current metrics is, yes, the shorts are not just a little bit, but they are greatly increasing their bet against the company. Now, it's one of these situations of like, what's the perfect equilibrium? And the best metaphor I could come up with it is it's equivalent to a fire. You want some gasoline on the fire to make a bigger fire, and that's some shorts. But if you put too much gasoline on it, you actually douse the entire thing and the fire burns out. So that's the perfect metaphor with stock prices. You want enough shorts to be in the game where the buying demand can handle it, and they're not saturated, and it squeezes those shorts out. But if there's too many shorts, it's equivalent to too much gasoline, and the fire goes out completely. And that's just basically too much selling pressure, and it overwhelms the buyers, it overwhelms the bull camp, and then it just doesn't happen. So there's this really nice equilibrium that it's tough to predict what it is and how much can it handle, because when it comes into the world of social media and all of that type of stuff, you just never know how much excitement and FOMO there's going to be. So is there potential for a short squeeze? Yes. Is there potential for a gamma squeeze? Yes. Is there potential for just straight up FOMO buying? Yes. Is there potential for these 3 forms of buying to interplay off of each other and send the stock sky high? Yes, there's potential, but that type of stuff's never guaranteed. I myself have been on Rumble now, 2 years, and I'm invested in Rumble. I mean, I bought it the day, even before it went live, because I got in on the SPAC deal, CFVI, before it converted over to Rumble. So like, as an investor, of course I want to see it. As a short-term options player as well, of course I want to see it. But with that being said, like at a certain point, when the longer you're in the market, you're going to realize you can never guarantee anything. It's just simply how it doesn't work. Like it's just not how it works. What's Pico? What's a Pico influencer? Well, there's influencers, then there's micro influencers, and then there's pico influencers. So obviously you must not be up to date on your Latin prefixes, but it goes like, it's just a Latin, like pico is really, really small. Like, you know how there's like breweries and then there's micro breweries. Well, if you're like making beer at your own house, you could be considered a pico brewer. Like, so for me, I'm the world's largest pico influencer. So I know the league I'm battling in. I'm not quite at that micro level, and I'm definitely multiple leagues away from like normal influencers, but I think it's safe to say that I'm down successfully at the pico level. And what's cool about being the number 1 pico influencer is actually some people are bringing up a very valid point of pico de gallo. Yeah, that's like, you actually get free unlimited pico de gallo for the entire year that you're the world's reigning pico influencer. So I like that they play off of each other, and it's been a huge benefit in my life, like without a doubt. Without a doubt, it's been a huge benefit to me, to every single day. I just call a guy. It's the Pico hotline. I call him up. I'm like, hey, I need a couple batches, and they bring it right on over. Yeah, it's just one of the perks of being the person that I am. So it's pretty awesome. Phenomenal questions, and let's get rocking today. Today's show 100% sponsored by Public. Public, it's a trading brokerage, and it is the best trading brokerage that you could be on. So if you're buying or selling equities, ETFs, anything like that, they do not engage at all in payment for order flow. They send all of your trades to lit exchanges. Now, they just rolled out with the world of option trading. And if you're trading options, it is 100% impossible to avoid payment for order flow. There's no such thing as like lit exchanges in the world of option trading. So if you're trading options, you are basically, your orders are getting sold for payment for order flow. Well, to show that Public truly has the back of their clients, they give you back 50% of the order flow you generate. There is no other brokerage on this planet that does this. So you could say wherever your options is, if you're crazy profitable, if you're not profitable, wherever you are in your own options trading, you would be better off on Public. Just because you're getting 50% of your payment for order flow back. So payment for order flow is the fee that these market makers are paying brokerages to like send the orders their way. And once again, it is impossible to avoid this in the world of options trading. It's just different market structure. And anyway, so these options market makers, they're paying brokerages, and Public, the brokerage, is saying, hey, we're going to give half of that money back to our clients. So check it out. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. I find it to be truly innovative because no other brokerage on this entire planet does it. So if you want to take advantage of it, check it out. Obviously, there's some sign-up bonuses and whatever. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Just go to public.com/Matt Kohrs. Very quickly, here's a little looky-see at the market. We are basically hovering just below the close on Friday on the SPY, and on the Qs, the tech sector a little bit stronger, just above the close on Friday. So not too much crazy movement. Bitcoin sitting at 42,000. If you remember some of the streams and breakdowns from last week, I was particularly excited about this level. Didn't hold it on the first push late last night, but I'm looking for Bitcoin to kind of get going. And then also when it comes to RUM, obviously this is going to be the short squeeze watch. I don't know if it's going to squeeze. I hope it does. I have that position, but I'm looking for the push and close above 644, which is Thursday's high, and I would love the push and close above $7. Love Public moving this route. Now, if they come out with software I can run on my PC to trade options, I'll fund my account and switch immediately. So I kind of reached out to them, just so you guys know, and I reached out to them and I was like, hey, Public, love what you do. I have a community of people who are degenerate traders like myself. Would it be cool if I give you some of the feedback of the things they want to see in the brokerage? And they reached out and they said, hey, brother, hey, Mr. Pico Influencer, we absolutely love it. So if you have any thoughts, comments, concerns of how Public could be better, let me know, because I'm going to pass that along. This is the only brokerage that really I have the connection to in terms of options trading, that whatever we want to happen, we can actually reach out to them and be like, hey, we want whatever. We want to see ABC because of reason XYZ. And if it all makes sense to them, they're like, awesome. So that type of stuff, keep passing it along, because I'm just going to pass the information to them and be like, this is what the community wants, because I think we're pretty representative of the overall active option trading world. So if their goal is to be more popular within the world of active option trading or option trading in a general sense, we can kind of form their options trading to like what we think is most ideal, most usable, the best UI, the best UX, like that type of a thing. So definitely, if you have thoughts, comments, concerns of how Public's options trading could be better, reach out to me. Say it in chat, DM me on Twitter, email me, DM me on Instagram, send me a carrier pigeon. Do whatever you want to do, but feel free to reach out to me. And just so you guys know, they just rolled out with it last week, so it's brand new. So obviously, there's a lot of things that they want to work on and iterate on and improve. And as they're in this like highly active dev environment, this is the perfect time for us to interject, be like, we want to see A, we want to see B, we want to see C, like that type of a generic thing. But anyway, let's get rocking. Stock futures, a little change ahead of big tech earnings and Fed meeting decision. Obviously, we're going to be going over all of that. But before we get there, there was some, I guess, geopolitical things that developed over the weekend. 3 U.S. troops killed, up to 34 injured in Jordan drone strike linked to Iran. So recently, there's been a lot of tensions boiling over in the Red Sea with the Houthi militant group. And now that there's drone strikes, this is happening in Jordan. Remember, Jordan is kind of to like the northeast of Israel, and then obviously the Red Sea's down a little bit. But overall, this is prompting oil to go a little bit crazy. Oil recently bottoming in December at 68, already pumping up to 78. If it goes and pushes and holds above 80, I think oil is just going to keep going. So there is concern that this could legitimately impact trade routes for oil, which would just hinder supply. And if supply goes down and demand stays the same, price has to go up. Iran distances itself from the U.S. base attack as Biden vows response. 3 soldiers killed in weekend attack on U.S. camp in Jordan. Domestic pressure grows as President Biden to confront Tehran. All right, let's play this very quickly.
Retaliation is anticipated, but there's going to have to be some sort of discretion around the scale, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Paul. I mean, we're going to be talking about calibrated attacks. One of the advantages of having a president Joe Biden's age is he's seen the risks of becoming too heavily engaged in foreign policy battles, struggles, wars, etc. So whether they hit back at Iran, I mean, they'll have to do something significant. This is the first US soldiers to die since the conflict, and obviously 25 wounded. It was a significant attack. Those troops are based there to fight Islamic State, so they weren't really part of this conflict at this stage, but we'll have to see something from the US. The Republicans are obviously baying fairly hard. We had Senator Lindsey Graham talking about hitting Iran. Whether that happens it seems
He's the
unlikely.
one who's invested
President
in like
Biden, remember,
every defense contractor.
withdrew US troops from Afghanistan under controversial circumstances. He's not big on getting engaged, getting bogged down in regional conflicts, and that's been one of the hallmarks of his response to this targeted attacks, providing support, using diplomatic pressure, but not having boots on the ground. And obviously everyone in the US would be mourning, there'd be a lot of anger, a lot of desire for revenge, but Biden is likely to be very, very careful in what he does here.
Yeah, well, I guess it really comes against the backdrop as well of what the US is hoping, that we see some sort of hostage deal in place.
That's right, Annabelle. I mean, it's very interesting news coming out. So in Paris on Sunday, there was a meeting between the intelligence chiefs of the US, of Egypt, of Israel. We had Qatar's Prime Minister there. And the talk is that we're getting closer to a deal between Hamas and Israel. The length period discussed is 2 months. And the idea of that is to bridge this gap where 2 months is long enough for Hamas to sort of be able to claim that hostilities are at an end, and Israel to be able to sell that it hasn't stopped the fight, but it gives a protracted an extended period when these until we actually see a deal in place and fighting stop and hostages move. You wouldn't want to trust it, but these are very, very positive signs we've seen.
All right, so quick little update there. Obviously, some sad news. Obviously, clearly, families are being impacted, like losing loved ones. But on top of that, it's just obviously not only do we have the tensions of being in an election year here in the U.S., but with this now, the global tensions politically are starting to get a bit more tense. So obviously, with that, Nikki Haley always wants to weigh in on her love for war. And what's her always thing is like, our number one enemy is China, followed by Russia. So oddly enough, finding some similarities with Lindsey Graham, and they just both want to, I don't know, globally make the U.S. military even more mighty. But then also we have the craziness going on at the southern border in Texas, and people in Texas, especially the governor, well, I think everyone in Texas is pretty unhappy as of now of what the Biden administration is saying, what they're saying they're going to do, and they're posturing, which is just becoming a giant mess.
But do you think a deal is worse for whoever actually becomes the Republican nominee, which is to say that right now there's a lot of criticism against this administration given what's happening at the border. If a deal is reached, does Biden, get the credit for that?
It's a shame because I don't think anybody should get credit. They should be embarrassed. What has Congress done? What has the president done on the border? You haven't seen anything. So now that you do this, you want us to praise you for doing the right thing that you should have done years ago? Like, why are we even talking about that? The problem in D.C., the problem with politics is they all want to know who's going to get the credit and who's going to get the blame. And the American people fall to the wayside because of it. Start calling things like they are. That's why I've always spoken in hard truths. You may not like what I say, but I'm always going going to tell you the truth. I think that's
But just
important.
back to the Senate bill, would you take it even if it doesn't have the Remain in Mexico policy? Because that's been the argument, is don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. And that's an age-old conversation.
But you know what that means. If they pass this, they'll leave it alone and they won't try and fix it more. We can't allow people to come across the border, period. You've got people on the terrorist watch list. These are not people getting vetted. We can't be okay with that. So I know people are saying, oh, but you've got a little something. Yeah. No, this is a national security threat. America's acting like it's September 10th. We've got to remember what September 12th felt like.
Talking about national security threats, 3 troops killed over the weekend and possibly 25 or 30 others injured on the border of Jordan and Syria. What would you be doing right about now in terms of what's happening in the Middle East?
Kind of an interesting pause.
Would we
What
be
would you
going
be
to
doing
war?
right
I mean,
about now?
You know,
no, the goal is always to prevent
be
war.
doing?
What makes me angry is my husband's serving overseas. Military families want to know
Is
their
that the
loved ones
husband
are
she
protected.
cheated on?
Biden didn't protect them. And there have been 160 strikes. There shouldn't have been 1. There shouldn't have been 2. And you've got 160, and you've got dozens injured. We lost 3 heroes because Biden was scared of his own shadow. That's
Twice.
a
what would that mean in practice? When you say Biden, you said Biden didn't do something. What was that something that he should have been doing?
The very first strike that hit, you punch and you punch back hard. What they should be doing is going after every ounce of production of those missiles. Wherever those missiles are, you take that out. You keep doing. You take out the training sites. You go and you.
But does that risk escalating a war?
Does that mean striking Iran directly?
Dude, she's so stoked to drop some bombs.
That are allowing them to hurt
Nikki
our
Haley
troops.
just wants
That's
to,
what you're doing.
dude, she wants to be flying the drones herself. You can just tell she's so into
not
it.
declaring the shots, but Iran's training them. They're providing intelligence. They're providing weapons.
And this goes
there
back.
would be no Hamas without Iran, Hezbollah without Iran, or Houthis without Iran.
But
yes, you're going.
Iran is a really big escalation. And
you go after wherever those missiles are, the production, wherever it is in Iraq and Syria, you take that out. Wherever it is in Lebanon that they're doing that, you take that out. You go after the leaders making the decisions. It's not after Iran, the country. It's after the people who are making these decisions. When Soleimani was assassinated, it sent a chill up their spine. They literally, it took their breath out. You have to be strategic. It's not starting war. It's actually preventing war.
But do you think
And luckily for you, she didn't stop there. She actually kept letting it rip. Don't worry, I found the clip.
I guess the first question is, how do you do it? Because the path to get there has become a lot more difficult.
You know, it's interesting because you say that I lost in New Hampshire. It's not really good for an incumbent not to get 43% of the vote. Fair. You know, you look at the fact that the delegate count, he has 32, I have 17. It takes 1,215 to get it. And so, you know, a lot of the reason that I am for term limits is the same reason that I will say kind of to the media class and the political class is they're so cynical. You know, they've forgotten what it's like to have good things happen and to be hopeful and to be optimistic. This is not over. It's far from over. And what I'll tell you is, look, he has been literally unhinged ever since I got 43% of the vote in New Hampshire. And so I know what we're doing is working. Yeah, but I also know that we have hundreds of people. I'm sorry?
She's not going to have a campaign in like 2 weeks.
Much tougher coming at you.
Yeah, but that means I'm doing well.
Right.
I mean, I don't.
From him, I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know him well. And I know that when he feels vulnerable, when he feels threatened, he lashes out. And you saw the night of the New Hampshire election, he literally had a temper tantrum on stage. And it's
literally.
He knew that he had told everybody we were going to be 30 points down, and we weren't. And we came in at 43%, and he just lost his mind over it.
But in order to win, you have to win some states. Right now, the polls have you down sharply in your own home state.
Yeah, you do have to win states to be president.
What states do you win, and how do you kind of take back the narrative?
Well, I think you look at, we gained 25 points in the last 3 weeks of New Hampshire. So we've got a month until South Carolina. So we're going to keep building. There haven't been any current polls, but we're going to keep doing it. We have 1,500 people in the upstate of South Carolina. We had 1,000 people in Charleston. Last night we had several hundred in the PD. People are out there excited. They know what my record is, but more than that, they don't want the chaos anymore. They see how President Trump acted. Just think in the last 48 hours what he did. He has a temper tantrum and talks about revenge. Then the next day, he goes and says, anybody that supports her.
Do they not realize that his voting base likes
part of
that.
my
They always
MAGA
try to
vote.
bring up,
So
they're like, look
literally
at, we
everybody that
don't,
votes
he's
for me and
acting
everybody
bad.
that
And everyone's
donates for
like,
me can't be part of his club. You can't win a
I
presidency
guess I can't
like that.
speak for the
and
people
then
who
he
vote
goes
for him,
and
but it
pushes
seems as
the
if
RNC
that's what they
to
like.
name him the nominee. All of that happened.
What's
I
the
appreciate
point
it
in
because we
attacking
raised $4
Trump
million in
the way he's
process,
already been
but
attacked
it goes
and
to
doesn't
show
lose?
This is who he is. This is what he does.
I just, like, don't they have strategists and PR teams that they're like, well, this hasn't worked in the past. Let's try something else out. I don't know. Blows my mind. And as we're speaking about global tensions and attacks and craziness in Jordan and Iran and Houthi in the Red Sea, China deploys warships around Taiwan. So just when you thought things couldn't get more tense, they are. That's as of this morning. So that's interesting update there. Some absolute craziness. And I've already opened up too many pages, too many web pages. Oh, breaking: Chinese property giant Evergrande to be liquidated by order of Hong Kong court. Probably nothing. I've been preaching this for months now. I'm saying, hey, I get that mainstream media, financial media is telling you, dude, China, you gotta invest. Like, it's gonna be awesome. I see China as a falling economy, and the reported metrics suggest that. And then the underlying of it, of these ghost towns, the shadow banking, the shadow banking, not the shadow baking. That's a little bit different. The shadow banking and just the discontent for the authoritarian government from the people. It's becoming very modernized. I just don't see how this is good. And yet mainstream financial media is like, dude, you totally got to invest in China. I don't see it. It seems to be going the opposite way. Evergrande shares halted after Hong Kong court orders liquidation. Shares of China Evergrande were briefly halted after plunging over 20% in early trading. Hong Kong court decision comes after it was reported that Evergrande's overseas creditors failed to reach an 11th hour deal this weekend to restructure. Down and down and down. No bueno. Trump cash stockpile at risk from 450 million dual verdict. So Trump got hit with the old 1-2 combo last week. Donald Trump is facing a pair of major legal verdicts in New York that risk wiping out most, if not all, of the cash the billionaire says he has on hand. A potential blow to the presidential candidate whose persona is tied up with financial success and wealth. Trump on Friday was ordered by a jury to pay $83.3 million to writer E. Jean Carroll for defaming her in 2019 when he denied her SA allegation. To clarify, I'm no lawyer. I don't speak legalese, but I do have the capability to go on the interwebs and read what actual lawyers, people who speak legalese, are saying about it. And they're saying, yeah, we get that it's $83.3 million, but the chances of him actually having to pay that amount are slim to none. So just throw that out there. Once again, I am not a lawyer. I don't know. I'm not a judge. This is not my expertise, but people who seemingly do have expertise saying this is like a good headline thing, and the chances of this actually being the paid amount is probably just not going to happen. On top of that, a verdict is expected this week in New York's civil fraud trial, which seeks to return $370 million in quote-unquote illegal profits Trump allegedly made by lying to banks about his wealth to get better terms on loans. In a deposition last year, Trump described his stockpile of cash as being substantially in excess of $400 million. The Bloomberg Billionaires Index places liquid assets at about $600 million, though Trump's exact financial situation remains famously opaque. Matt, have you heard about the 700K truckers going to the border supposed to start today? No. Wesley, we will look at, remind me about that after the market opens, and we'll dive into it for sure. That sounds actually pretty wild. Here in the US, the recent trucker stuff I'm seeing, or I've been seeing, are the farmers in France who are like dumping manure all over all like the government buildings and whatnot. I definitely am interested in checking that out. In terms of macroeconomic events, nothing really scheduled today. There's a couple things, but not allegedly of the highest level of implications on the market. But really, the party gets going tomorrow. JOLTS job openings, the start of the FOMC. We get the results of the FOMC on Wednesday. Then the press conference where Jerome Powell speaking comes later on Wednesday. Then we get the CPI, the inflation report out of the Eurozone, some ISM numbers, and then we get the unemployment report this Friday. So this week is chock full of major macroeconomic events. And on top of that, we have some big earnings. SoFi came out this morning, obviously a big beneficiary of the fact that people are starting to pay their student loans once again. SoFi, when I checked it, it was up like already 15% this morning. Later on this week, Pfizer, GM, UPS, JetBlue, Microsoft, AMD, Alphabet, Starbucks. We have Boeing, we have MasterCard, we have Qualcomm, we have Apple, Amazon, Meta, ExxonMobil, Chevron. I mean, this whole week is crazy in earnings. So there's a good chance that you've traded or you're invested or you're at least paying attention to some of these. So feel free to screenshot it. Feel free to go at eWhispers on Twitter. It's a great account. Check it out. It's also in the newsletter. Don't forget, you could get the newsletter for free, mattkohrs.locals.com. It comes up in chat. It's in the description of the video. This newsletter comes out every single week to you. And I just break down the previous week, what I'm looking towards in the upcoming week, all the major macroeconomic events. I give you a little screenshot of that earnings, and then I try to highlight the ones that I think you're really going to care about. And then probably most importantly, I give you the seasonality for each individual trading day of the upcoming week. So for example, Monday, January 29th, over the past 25 years, aka the past 2.5 decades, the Bulls have won this day only 40% of the time, i.e. the Bears have won it 60% of the time. The bias, bearish. It's not crazy bearish. We've definitely seen more bearish days, but you can see from the equity curve right here, just lower highs, lower lows, slowly but surely trending down. And this equity curve is generated from buying at open and selling at close on this individual day just to see the singular day's performance. And then I obviously give you the breakdown for the remainder of the week, and I give you an update on how all of the zero DTE strategy stuff is going. And last week was the third perfect week in a row for the Pipers/Rue strategy. In the month of January, 17 trading days in a row. And in terms of units, because obviously the units scale up and down based on the confidence of the signal, it is currently 64 for 66 in the month of January. Absolutely crazy. Last week alone, it would have returned $356 on the minimum account sizing of $1,000. So on a $1,000 account, you could have returned about 35%, aka $356. And the highest risk trade, if you accepted maximum risk, you don't necessarily have to, would have been just below 370. So this is all from the algorithm stuff, and then my own personal trades. I choose to trade SPX more than I'm ever trading SPY or Qs. I like the European style contracts. I was trying to be open and transparent with you guys on Wednesday that I took about a 6K hit. I think it was 6.2K. But fortunately, on Thursday and Friday, I was able to run the account back up. So this is from the 22nd to the 26th, up 4.8K. Obviously, you can get the first month of the Locals membership, which is how you get connected to Discord, for 100% free. And if you like it, stick around. It's $300 for the year. And you could tell from this alone, I mean, obviously, what's that, 16 years? Or just from the strategy on the minimum account sizing, you would have paid for an entire year. So to me, the math really adds up. But anyway, check it all out. If you wanted to be in the Goonie Discord, the connection, the payment, it's all through Locals. And also in Locals, there's the newsletter and there's a lot of other stuff happening. So if there's any questions on that, I'm more than happy to answer it. But let's just keep rolling for a quick second. 5 things to know before the stock market opens today: rates and robots. We kind of got into that. Tech week, that's all of the earnings. Rough air, dude. The airline industry, the craziness with Boeing right now, it is wild. Revenue cliff ahead. All right, yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs era. Well, okay, so some football. So I guess CNBC didn't really feel like trying super hard today. A little bit later, I will be going over some of the crypto update stuff. Obviously, after we get these market trades, I want to go over Rumble just very quickly to give you a screenshot. Rumble's numbers are crazy. 18.5% short interest. We have shares on loan has now jumped to 25.7 million. The utilization is maxed out, and the average cost to borrow is now above 71%. So just quickly, in case you're like, hey man, I need to run before market open, feel free to screenshot this. All this data is from Ortex. It is crazy. Look at this. This is the estimated short interest. So let's go from the start of the year. January 1st, the estimated short interest on Ortex was 10.4%. As of now, at the end of the month, it's jumped up to 18.5. It's almost doubled. Check this out. The shares on loan in that same period, January 1st, it started at 12.77 million. The shares on loan now is all the way up to 25.7 million. The cost to borrow starting on January 1st was clocking in at 15.8%. Obviously, now it's jumped up dramatically to 71.7%. And it all really started happening last week. The numbers here are crazy. We could take a deeper dive on it. I just wanted to let you know what was happening. Before we get rocking with market open, I need you guys to vote. Obviously, YouTube, your poll's already up. I implore you to vote. On Rumble, I need you guys to vote. Market at open, 9:30 to 9:31. At the market open, is the market going up? Is the market going down? We need to continue with the competition. You guys, this is day 14. You've already both chats have hit their trades 13 days in a row. Green, 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 green. Okay. The first 6 were green, so that's a majority. All right, so let's get ready. Let's get ready for this Degen market open trade. All right, so you guys are bullish. All right, so what I need to do here, NQ, we're going to do this, 324. So 47 and 47 and 48. 47 and 48, that's YouTube. 47, 3 for 2. All right, 47 and 48 are tied together. 47, 47, 48, 47. Okay, they are tied together. This is ready to rock. The other thing to do is obviously the other competitor in this competition is the Wheel of Destiny. Obviously, last week we made the decision to, I just want to make sure this account's not tied to anything else. 47, 99. This is 49. Obviously, last week we made the decision to be even more degenerate, and we upped the number of contracts on the wheel. Folks, if you don't know what this is the Wheel of the Destiny. This Wheel of Destiny is how I decide to trade every single morning. Obviously, red is bearish, blue is bullish, and then the numbers, the amount of contracts I either have to be long or short at market open. And we're going to see what Lady Luck tells us to do today. Oh, 9. We're almost maxed out there, brother. The max being 10. So we're going short 9. That is, that's something. 9. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Edit. Okay. All right. That's going to be a bit of a doozy. Once again, this is kind of how it went last week where the system short, right? Okay. So you guys want long and then the wheel wants to be short. So this is going to be a little bit of a crazy open. Ooh, I only have a couple seconds to get this figured out. All right, so you guys want long, and then the system wants short. So I'm going to fire this off at 9:29:55. Let's go.
Order submit. Order filled. Target filled. Order canceled.
They all hit. Look at that. Bada bing, bada boom. Technically, the wheel beat you guys. I don't want to be that guy, but technically the wheel beat both of you guys. So YouTube's chat is 47, made 140. Then you have Rumble's chat also made 140. And then you have the wheel that I thought it would have made more because we had 9 contracts. But hey, it is what it is, made 125. So that was officially 14 perfect trading days in a row for Rumble Chat, YouTube Chat, and the wheel, but the profit is a little bit different. As of now, Rumble Chat is winning, up 1.9K, YouTube Chat is up 1.88, and then the wheel is up 1.775. So that was the 14th trading day in a row that all 3 accounts hit, but Rumble's in first place, YouTube's in second, and then the Wheel of Destiny is currently in third. And if you're curious about this is all from Apex. I mean, I have 20 accounts funded at 50K. So if you want to trade with someone else's money, just so you know, the deal does end today. It is 80% off and a 1-day approval ending today at market close. So feel free to check that out. And with that being said, I do need to trade on some of these new accounts, and I'm trying to be a little bit more intelligent, a little bit more smart about all of this. And the lead account is 99. I need to go down to 99. Brand new account that I just got passed on PA last week. So first day trading it is obviously today. 99, 3 for 2, 3 for 2. 5 for 1. All right, let's get ready. I just want to be prepped up for this. All right, I'm going to wait a couple minutes for market open, and really what I want to see is the strength and or potential weakness. So right here, let's check out spot gam at open. Let's just let this cook a little bit, just see what options are doing, bullish or bearish. We kind of already went over the Rumble numbers. You get the idea. Higher short interest, higher shares on loan, maxed out utilization, and the short score is now over 90. Absolutely crazy. If you want, we can monitor the numbers throughout the day. We've just seen in excess of 1 million extra shares every single day going on loan, out on loan against it. But right now, Rumble is in the green, trading at 610. The first level of interest to me in the short term is 644, and then next is the $7, like whole $7, like just that whole dollar value. So definitely paying attention to that just to see how this all kind of jockeys for position out of the gate. But good start. Bitcoin trading at just below 42K. We're going to come back to that. Coinbase is up this morning. What else is up? What else is having major moves? Anything, guys? Tesla is at 185. Rum bouncing out 606 up to 624. Maybe a little bit of something. A little bit of something. All right. Where are we? Oh, that got hit much more.
Order submitted.
I was trying to get cute and just thought I could get this trade off real quick. But now I'm getting smashed. Come on, don't do this to me. Not in front of my friends. Not in front of my friends. Tick 200. Maybe I need. Oh.
Order canceled.
All right, that hit. That was one trade. What time are we at? 34. We are at 34.20. All right, so we got at least some trades on there. I was kind of targeting $300 though on each one. I was like, okay, if I do 300 for 10 days in a row, all the accounts should be up about 3K. That's kind of mentally where I was at with the goal. But, oh wait, where properties? Where's the crosshair thing? I like the crosshair font. Does anyone know off the top of their head how you get the crosshair? Where was that? Oh, crosshair. Local. Okay, cool.
Order submitted.
All right, we're going for number 2.
Order
all right,
canceled.
Bada bing, bada boom. Number 2 in. And then, all right, we're climbing it up. We're climbing up the gains. I'm going to be patient now. I'm going to wait for a little bit just to see what's going on. Kind of got a little bit lucky, so I don't want to get overzealous with it. All right, we'll come back to spot gam and see how the options are opening. Obviously, we're going to be monitoring Rumble throughout the day, but thus far strong. Like I said, the first key level for me that I'm watching on Rumble is 644, and my reasoning for that is just because that's the high from Wednesday of last week. So we popped up, came down, ideally creating a nice base here in the low 5s, hopefully. But to me, if we get above and hold above 644, that's just setting up a test of $7. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know if it's going to come. You can't guarantee anything. Tesla's taking a bit of a hit right now. The SPY, let's, once again, I have way too many tabs open. This always happens. This always happens to me. I'm just such a big tab guy. You know, there's people in this world who are big tab guys, and then there's people who are not big tab guys. I'm a big tab guy, and it's to the point that it's like kind of now ruining my life because sometimes it slows down my Chrome. But the SPY is looking strong. I mean, we have the all-time high right here. This is like we are within, once again, striking distance of another all-time high, 49.12. That's just crazy. The Qs, they hit their all-time high on Wednesday of last week. We did get this downside gap fill. Interesting. Interessante. Let's set up some alerts just so we know if we're breaking out or breaking down. Thus far, it does feel as if the bulls are in a decent amount of control. Big tab energy. Big tab energy. Matt Kohrs saved my life when I was a baby. Hey, if you want to tell the people the story, you can. I wasn't the one who wants to brag about it, but if you brought it up, I'm more than happy to share all the details. Share all the details of how I saved your life when you were a baby. Good morning, everyone. I noticed that a couple people are late to class today, but I'm in such a particularly good mood that I'm not going to give you guys demerits. I see you guys coming in here kind of awkwardly late. It's all good. I'm not going to be mad today. You don't need to sneak in with your hoodie on and sit in the back of class. You know what? Today it's all right. I remember you made on that support stock. What support stock? When did I make 6.5K? I just got a nice email. YouTube didn't say it was live, said upcoming still. For the other people who are on YouTube. What? Thought if I didn't make eye contact. Did you guys get the notification today on Rumble? Did Rumble people get a notification? Did YouTube people get a Wait, if you're for the people watching on OnlyFans right now, did you guys get a notification? Am I live? Did I get my own notification? What's happening? How about those lines? I see they lit their fans down yet again. Okay, you could say they lit them down by not getting to the Super Bowl, not winning, but this is one of the best years they've ever had. I don't know if we can really define it as letting them down. It was a crazy good year. I don't know. I think the Lions fans should be able to hold their head high. I mean, I think Jared Goff, he's kind of also shown that, he's a legit dude. He's not just a quarterback. He's a legit dude. So something to consider. Anyway, as we're waiting for the market to open, once again, don't forget to check out Public. Pinned to the top of chat, in the description of the video, the best place to trade options. They just rolled out with their option trading. And the reason I'm telling you it's the best place to trade options is because you get back 50% of the payment for order flow that you generate. No other brokerage on this entire planet does it. So it's commission free. They're not charging you for this stuff. And then on top of it, you're getting half of your payment for order flow generated money back to you. So check it out. Obviously, it just dropped, so they're improving it every single day because it literally just came live last week. And if you guys have any comments, suggestions of things you want to see into it, reach out to me and I will pass it along to them because I reached out to them last week and I said, hey, I have a lot of community who loves degenerately trading. Would you love to hear their feedback? And they would say, more than love to hear your feedback. So let's keep the lines of communication open and turn Public's option trading into something that we just absolutely love to use. All right. Did I just see Gronk on the New York Stock Exchange? How's this reality? How is he a center? Lindsey Graham, hit Iran now. Hit them hard. Taylor Swift's going to the Super Bowl. Peaky Blinders fined for possession of cocaine. That's called method acting, folks, and I don't think it should be problematic. He's caught with possession of cocaine. Come on. Bitcoin is hands down better than gold. Let's see what Kathy Wood has to say about the old Bitcoin versus gold debate.
Bitcoin, hands down. Hands down. Bitcoin
Hands down.
is a hedge against both inflation and deflation. Yes, so is gold, but Bitcoin is digital. And if you look at the incremental demand, we're going to see, but gold already has its demand, it's happened, right? Bitcoin is new and institutions are barely involved. And young people would much prefer to hold Bitcoin than to hold gold. So, it's interesting that both gold and Bitcoin are hedges against deflation, but Bitcoin's been doing better recently. Bitcoin.
I mean, over the past decade, it's not just been doing better. Bitcoin's been destroying the price appreciation. over the past decade, you were far better off in Bitcoin than you were gold. And I'm not a person who even hates on gold. Like, I still understand the value of gold without a doubt. I'm not a gold hater. But I mean, investment wise, dude, Bitcoin's ripped. Bitcoin has ripped. All right. Where are we at? 942. I was kind of waiting for 945, you know? I had a 945 vibe today. A 9 rum. Where did it get smacked today? 630 down to 610. Would love to see that bounce back up. Tesla kind of going flat. Let's reload what's going on in the world of options. Let's get a better understanding of what's happening here. Okay, dokies. Kind of flat. Nothing too crazy happening in the world of options right now. This is the white line is the price line for the SPX, the S&P 500. The green line, the teal line here, is the 0 DTE net delta, and then the purple line is the all expiration net delta. And then obviously we could always toggle back and just see what's going on with the individual calls versus puts. But for market open, let's just see the general change of the price with delta. And see how thing is. Maybe it's gearing back up. The Q's had a nice pop to 937. Since then, just kind of flat. Maybe a drift up. The SPY popped, came down, sitting right above the close from not only last Friday, but obviously last week as well. Would love to see rum turn back around and see what we have going. As of right now, the major things I've done today, I haven't done any options trades today, just so everyone knows. The major things I've done more so pertain to just what's happening with futures and Apex, just all that, like the degeneracy at market open, that thus far has worked, but I'm saying that a bit hesitantly because I'm not done. Like I said, I thought it'd be nice to lock in like 300 buckaroos on all those accounts. What do you think about owning a bit of physical gold? I think it's smart. I think it's smart to diversify. I'm not a person who's going to be like, I'm only ever having gold. I'm only ever having Bitcoin. I see the utility of both of them. So I like both. Like I guess Bitcoin is easier to get your hands on. And like, I guess it's like the cooler thing because it is new. But I by no means see it to be disadvantageous to have a bit of physical gold. Same thing with Bitcoin. I don't think it's disadvantageous to have a bit of Bitcoin. All right, let's get this ready. What are we doing? Am I on the right account? Yes. Uh-oh. Are we falling? Are we falling or not falling? What's happening?
Order canceled.
Bada bing, bada boom. All right. We knocked that one out of the park. Like I said, the goal was kind of do like, I mean, it's tough because like there is going to be slippage and you're not going to trade the same on each account. Like I said, the goal is to kind of get to 300 and see if I could do 300 for 10 days in a row, because then that's 3K and then I could take money out of these accounts. And I'm just talking about the bottom 17 accounts. The top 3 accounts are just for you guys to compete back and forth. But I kind of wanted to do one more. Unmas. And I don't know necessarily what opportunity I'm looking for. I'm kind of just flying by like the seat of my pants here. You know, I'm just kind of making it up as I go. Where are we? Here we go. Q's. Just kind of making it up as I go. You know, just playing a little loosey-goosey with the rules. Bullish. Inversion was bearish, but bullish now. Bullish has been bullish. Do I just go for it?
Order submitted. Order canceled.
Done. Easy peasy. Like I said, sometimes you just got to fly by the seat of your pants. You guys saw it all being done in real time. And like I said, I hit my goal. Not all of them are at 300. This one particularly is at 285, but then there's some as high as 360. So it worked out. So 300 across 17 accounts, which is about 4K. And then you guys 140, 140, and 125 for the competition accounts. And that's enough. I don't need to push my luck today. I'm shutting it down. Hang on. Let me save this new workspace. Save as. We'll save this one as ABC. Okay. I don't know why it's not doing that. Okay. Yes. All right. Easy peasy lemon squeezies. Just like that. Just like that. If you're curious about this at all, it is here. I'll put it in chat right now. And the only reason I'm like particularly bringing it up is because I just put it in chat for all you guys, just because the deal is ending today. The deal's ending right here. It is done in 7 hours, 80% off and 1 day to pass. If you're interested in that deal, use the code Goonie, but it does end in 7 hours. And I just dropped the link in chat. All right, cool. Did all of that. We listened to Kathy Wood there. Yeah, dude, the numbers on Rumble are crazy. So Ortex, we kind of went over this, but actually crazy. Actually crazy. Ooh, looks like I got out just in time because the market took a bit of a hit. Ooh, Rum's coming back. Lots of things. I feel like every other thing I'm saying is just, ooh, that's moving. Ooh, that's moving. Ooh, that happened. It's craziness. Absolute craziness. Rum's picking back up. Rum's definitely on watch here. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. All right, cool. So you guys know to sign up for public. You know that the Apex deal runs tonight. You saw all the trades. 17 accounts made over $300 on average. And then the three, you guys are now perfect for 14 days in a row, which is interesting because tomorrow is the day that we end up tying the previous record. We've done chat trade. Rum's going. Rum alert. We've done this chat trading challenge before. And you guys we got to 15. 15 is the number. That's the tippity top of the mountain that we've gotten to before, which is tomorrow. So we'll be able to tie the record tomorrow. Today was day 14. Tomorrow will be day 15. And historically, that's the peak we've been able to get to. So pay attention to that. I need everyone to go to bed tonight, 5 p.m. at the latest. I need you guys well rested. I need you on your game for the rest of the day. Take off from work. If you have a kid's birthday party, skip that. I need everyone to be on the ball tomorrow and really for the next 2 days, just so we can say we got into a whole new stratosphere of trading competitions, if you will. So I need everyone to prep up for that. Prep up for that. Rum's going. Like I said, 644 is my level of interest. We're getting real close. I'll set an alert there, add alert. And then after that, I think it opens up the door for $7. But Rum's already up 5% today. A break and hold above 7, it gets exciting. Exciting. Like I said a little bit ago, I haven't done any option trades, but I have been swinging some options positions. So obviously, as all the 0DT stuff plays out, I let all the Discord know and I update all of that. No signals have been fired yet because it's not 10 a.m. But anywho, I have been swinging a Tesla put position, and then I also have been swinging Rum call positions. They both expire mid-Feb. Let me look up the expiration dates on these. It's more of a swing position. Let me log in. Let me look at my account. Options, portfolio. Rum, $9 calls for Feb 16. And then I also have Rum, $8 calls for Feb 16. So those are my two Rum call positions, both for Feb 16, $8 and $9 strike. And then I have a Tesla put position for 165 for February 9th. So it's the week before. So once again, these are both swings, just short-term kind of plays. I want to see how it really plays out. On top of that, I do want to remind you that I'm invested in Rumble, and currently I'm technically a little bit underwater. I've had now at this point a handful of purchases of the stock, and my average cost, I own a couple thousand shares, a few thousand shares at a cost basis of just below or in the low sevens. Mid sevens, low sevens. Basically, if it gets above $7.50, if it gets above $8, I definitively know I'm in profit. My confusion is more so just because I own it across various accounts and I have to kind of like average it out. But it's in the low sevens. This is the same channel I was getting my AMC info from last year. That's kind of what I do, is I just cover the major news of what's happening. And right now, there's a lot of chatter and excitement around Rum. Other times it's just breaking news of what's happening with, I don't know, Squawk Box interviews. Sometimes it has to do with, unfortunately, the uprising of global conflicts or the craziness down in Texas. We just kind of cover what's going on. We just kind of chit chat about what's going on. But rum is particularly interesting because something's happening with its stock, but then based on what the business is, I'm also streaming to rum. So it's kind of a, I don't know. It's kind of like an interstellar situation where I'm not really sure quite what reality is, but I'm streaming to a service while talking about how that service is actually being attacked by shorts, which is conceptually kind of crazy. You know? Man, I sold NVIDIA at 453. I held it for a long time. I mean, you still made a lot of money, and I get that NVIDIA is even crazier now, but that's because Pelosi never misses. Pelosi never misses. This is the same channel that Kohrs used to save the financial lives of thousands of people. And just their straight up lives. Like, yes, obviously their financial lives, but don't forget about their like live lives, you know? Don't forget about that. Is DWAC having itself quite a day again? It's actually down 4%. So rum's up 5%. DWAC's currently down 4%. But remember, there's a lot of time left in the day. We're not even a half hour in. For those of you who are curious about what's going on with options, kind of just drifting down. Once again, this is for the S&P 500. We could come back to Rummel's numbers. Let me do a reload just to see what these live numbers are right now. Well-la-ti-da. Slight increase. Look at this. The average cost to borrow is 333% today on the, how many were borrowed? 120,000 shares. The average cost to borrow on the 120,000 shares is 333%. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Rum's going for it. Rum's going for it. Hang on. Hold on to it. If you have a horse, please hold on to it. I'm getting messages. Please do your best to restrain all horses in the local vicinity because I need them to be held. I need them to be held. Just pushed 644. Just pushed 644. SPY starting to pick up. Is rum picking up SPY? It's a joke. I know Rumble's not in the S&P 500. It's just a joke. We don't have to get all nerdy and technical in here and be like, well, actually, that's in the Russell 3000, not the S&P 500. I get it. It's a joke. You don't have to yell at me. It's a joke. We're allowed to joke. In fact, that's 99% of what I do is just joke. Are my calls back in the green yet? Those rum calls, positions? Not yet. They're trading at 40 cents. And I'm in at 64. So I'm almost there. Almost being back into the green on those calls, at least the $8 calls. Do you think Tesla is a buy at these levels? Nope. I'm not going to buy until I see it actually turning around. I mean, in the realm of retail, we're not the ones who like push stock up or down. Like, why would I buying right now? What would be the thesis on it? Like just that it's low? Well, if your argument is just that it's low, wasn't that the same argument in like January 22nd? Wasn't that the same argument on January 11th? It's just, I see at this point, no signs of a reversion. If it starts to revert, that's a different story. But it's just not being bought right now. So I'm just going to wait until it, like, I like Tesla and I'm interested in getting involved more in it when it goes up. But in the short term, it looks like there's pressure to the fact that I actually have puts. But once again, it's a short-term thing. Long-term, I still think Tesla's a massively successful company. Whoa, Texas Road, new all-time high on Texas Roadhouse? Dude, I don't want to be that guy because maybe sometimes correlation, causation is at the right event. Texas Roadhouse just hit a new all-time high. And once again, correlation, causation, but 12 hours ago, before the market opened, hey, Texas Roadhouse, is it true that your official motto is buttering rolls and filling holes? If so, I'm investing more. Time stamped, 9:30, January 28th. Fast forward to the 29th, new all-time high. Am I the best to ever do it? Am I truly a Pico influencer? Am I the person who dictates where the market goes? I'll let you be the judge. I'm presenting the evidence to you, and it's up to you and your own deliberations of what's what and who's who. But Texas Roadhouse clocking in a new all-time high after a brave soul was wondering if their saying is officially buttering rolls and filling holes. You know, just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. 49ers versus the Lions again. OJ Simpson? Dude, OJ, maybe chill?
Hey, X-World, it's me, yours truly. I haven't been around in a while, but today is kind of a special day because it was 66 years ago, 1957, that I attended my very first professional football game. And that game was the 49ers versus the Lions in what was a playoff game, which was unusual because they didn't really play playoff games, but the way the season ended, they needed to play a playoff game to see who would win, I guess, the West. I attended the game. I was not quite 10 years old at the time. And it was a hell of a game. The 49ers were way ahead at halftime. The rumors were the 49ers opened the champagne bottles at halftime. But as the second half rolled around, Detroit got hot, and Detroit ended up winning that game. 1957, 66 years ago. And here we are again with the 49ers
I don't know if this guy should be like just
publicly
making videos.
It's been quite a while. Anyway, I'm excited. I'll be watching the game with most of my friends at one of my usual haunts. I believe the 49ers overall have a better team. I thought last week the layoff, the 2.5 week or whatever break they
OJ
took,
sharp like a knife.
Started off bad in the
sharp like a knife.
Packers really outplayed them the first half, but I'm going along with them, and I guess I have to go with Lamar. It's rare that an MVP, which he hasn't been voted yet, but I expect him to be voted. It's kind of rare that the MVP wins the Super Bowl, but I don't know if he'll win the Super Bowl, but I'm picking him to go to the Super Bowl for the AFC.
Matt, quit hating on the juice.
Good luck to you today. Should be a couple of
I'm the one who's wrong between the two of us.
Take care. Good luck.
Between my commentary and his actions, I'm the one who's in the wrong. Options are pretty flat as of now. Pretty flat. All right, let's start marking out some intraday highs and lows now that we have a good half hour of trading under our belts. Good half hour of trading. It looks like the SPY is a bit stronger than the Qs, at least as of now. Obviously, Tesla getting a little bit of a hit. Curious if it's going to dip below 180 today. If it starts to sell, really, Tesla, if it goes below, I guess, what was this, 179, 180? What was this low? 180, yeah. So basically, if it breaks 180, I think it quickly vomits to like the mid 170s. And at that point, I would take my profits in the short term. Like I said, in the long term, I think this is a phenomenal company. I really, really do. It's just recently the earnings call, really like their numbers in the earnings call, the world was just thinking, rightfully so, what are you doing, guys? What are you saying? I guess I should turn this alert on as well. SPY currently flat. Options currently flat. Let's see what sectors are keeping the SPY up if tech's going down. Is it energy? It should be energy. No, it's not energy. Is it financials? It is somewhat financials. Okay. Utilities, they're fine. Industrials, all right. Healthcare, all right. Things are like, it's just really tech. Tech's looking a little bit weak ever past 10, 15 minutes. But if that bases and starts to go, I think we could see a new all-time high today. But tech would have to follow suit. You need some of these major names. I see you guys saying Apple's not having the best day. If Apple starts to turn around, Amazon's not doing too much. Microsoft did pop, coming down now. Meta, it's trying to hold. Nvidia's having a good push on an intraday basis. What tech names are going down that is causing the Qs to get hit? How's Boeing? Dude, Boeing's getting rocked. What other ones haven't we checked in on a while? Dave and Buster's. How's Mullen? Ugh, trash. How's AMC? Trash. Actually went sub $4 today. I don't know how anyone's touching that shit. GME's at 14. Netflix is not having a good day, but it's the magnitude, 564. That's still pretty nice on the daily chart. What else do we have going on? What else? Lucid is popping. It's popping intraday, but it's trading at $3 right now. That's not good. Jeez Louise, mi amigo. How's DWAC? Is DWAC back in the green? DWAC's just kind of flat today. Bitcoin 42. Okay, well, while we're waiting for a clear development, because I don't know if the Qs are going to turn around and we pop, or if the SPY is actually going to get drugged down by the Qs, but while we're waiting for that to happen, let's go over the major news you need to know in the world of crypto, which is where Bitcoin just... Or are we about to... do I want to do it? Are we about to plummet? Or is it going to save itself? Or the Q is going to save itself at 424? Oh, brother. I guess I should turn this alert on just to know if the SPY is going to break down. Rum's going, though. The longer it holds 644 in the short term, the more confident I would be about it touching the next key resistance level, which, by the way, I look at charts, is roughly around $7. Coin's having a decent day, I guess, because... Whoa. Did a 10 a.m. report just come out? The Qs just broke down, made a new intraday low. Let's check out options. Options just dipped on that. Options just dipped. All right, let's do the 5-minute below its cloud, the 10-minute below its cloud, the 30-minute below its cloud. So the tech sector not looking the best right now. But on the other hand, you have the S&P 500. The 5-minute is testing, the 10-minute is testing, and the 30-minute still bullish. So little bit of a discrepancy. Tech today, at least on a relative basis, weaker than the SPY. Interessante, mi amigo. Interessante. We opened a little bit above where we closed. The Qs are breaking downward. The Qs are breaking downward. Huh. I guess what are your vibes on this? Is this are we gonna keep selling today, or is this just the old Kansas City shuffle, the old fake out? I was feeling a bit more bullish until literally just these recent daggers that we saw. Where is this selling? Is it bonds? Are bonds just getting destroyed? Bonds are holding 94. Is the dollar ripping? Dollar's back up a bit. The dollar is popping. Bonds are looking a little bit suspect. Oh, what is it? Tech sector's heavy. Definitely interest rate sensitive companies are not having the best of days right now. Tesla just bounced $1.50 out of nowhere. What are we doing? Fake out breakdown. Fingers crossed. Help me figure this out. Culper Research has an active short position on rum and then reports rum inflated MAU count. Now SEC starts investigation on rum all before election season. Yep, that's pretty much the skinny of it. Dallas Fed manufacturing business index and Dallas Fed 10:30 quarterly refunding announcement QRA 3 p.m. I would never say any of these are like non-important, but I don't know how much of an influence those reports will really have. It's just like, I suppose, a gradient of their impact. But let's see. Maybe we get the classic 10 a.m. flush that just leads to options picking up. I mean, options flushed hard on that. Right past 10, you could see it. Is this up to date? It should be. I'm wondering if the next update we see is actually a push. It's like slightly lagging. I don't know. Q's looking a little bit heavy, which that's a tough thing to define, but the SPY is just kind of like midway in its range. As of now, no signal for me is fired, and that's arguably because the SPY has no momentum. So I'm running two different strategies that just give me an idea of the regime we're in. As in, are the bulls currently winning? Are the bears currently winning? Because I want to play with the current trend. That's kind of how I view day trading, is saying, okay, whatever the current trend is in the morning, I think that will persist for at least the remainder of the day. But as of right now, especially, like, it's momentum, and like I don't want to get too much into the weeds of the nerdy math shit, but it's a big fancy schmancy way to say a measurement of the current momentum. So it's just, is there bullish momentum? Is there bearish momentum? And if there is, how much? And right now, when we have stuff going sideways, the SPY would be neutral, no momentum, and the Qs would have a little bit of bearish momentum, especially because it made a new intraday low from like this opening bar. But obviously time will tell. Time will tell. Time will tell. What is today? Today's Monday, right? Monday all day, I believe. The SPY's trying to fight back after that 10 a.m. flush. Is there any other breaking news that we're missing right now? Check options. Let me just reload this whole page to see what's going on. I feel like it has to be going a bit more haywire. It's not. Interesting. So even though price is starting to bounce right now, look at this. So price bottomed at 10.05 on the S&P 500. Options are still perfectly flat. Interesting mismatch. A very interesting mismatch. Either the price is about to fall or options are about to pop. One of them's going to happen. One of them. It looks like the SPY. All right, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Okay. Here, I'm dropping some stuff in the Discord. What do we have here? The SPY is clearly stronger. What is today? The 29th? All right. If you are in the Discord, I'm dropping all the signal stuff right now. Okay, that's in there. And then let me take a screenshot of how I chose to take advantage of it. Okay. Also, if you are in the Discord, the lecture should be posted from yesterday. There's a higher demand for some swing trading analysis, so we put that in there. Okay, SPX. What was it? What did I just do? Okay, my personal trade for the day I put into that, and then also the signals in there. So everyone in the Discord, it should all be in there. And then obviously, if there's any questions, comments, concerns, I will be in the Discord later today to answer whatever you have. But the lecture from yesterday for the weekly, basically opening value analysis of if it's predictive for the remainder of the week, that video should be uploaded. Rum holding at 650, bouncing right off of 640. I like that. The Qs are coming back. I'd feel a lot more confident in my bullish position if the Qs make a new intraday high above 425. Above 425. Don't bring your laptop into the shower. Subscribe for more audio tips. That's actually a solid tip. That's a good one. Audio being is probably your problem. Also, audio is a small portion of the overall aesthetic of Rumble. Wait, are people having audio issues on Rumble right now? Or did you actually bring yours into the shower? Because I don't know if it's really on Rumble to be like, if you're bringing it into the shower, that's kind of on you. That's not really necessarily like Rumble's fault, you know? Not necessarily Rumble's fault. All right, let's mark out the new highs, the new lows. Let's drop to the 5-minute. All right, let's go over some of the crypto stuff. We have some reacts, and then we could go over some other breaking news. But I think I'm pretty much now done for the day in terms of like the things that I need to actively do, because we did all the Degen trading on the futures account. I placed the premium I sold. I put the signal in there. I think we're kind of rocking. We're just kind of rocking. Now, like now we're at the point of just Jesus taking the wheel. Now we're at the point of just seeing if rum gets a little crazy. Like I said, I am highly interested, for lack of a better term, of rum trying to close above 644. Obviously, the higher the better. 644 is a major level in my book, so I would love to see 645. And then I don't want to get too greedy with it, but above $7 would also be pretty awesome. SPY's looking strong. Qs are looking strong. Options check. Options popping nice since 10:08. So there was a weird lag where options were flat and price started to pick up, but then I guess the options market was like, whoa, we should probably be bullish. Let's see what they actually did. They didn't necessarily buy calls. Yeah, they bought some calls, but it was more so the closing of puts. Now, remember, closing puts and buying calls, they both can have an impact on the net delta, but to me, buying calls is more bullish than just selling puts. So a couple things to interpret there, and that's, I don't know, that's, I suppose, getting into the weeds of options. But anyway, yeah, some calls were purchased, but more so we're seeing puts being closed out, and that's exactly why we're seeing the net delta pop with an awkward delay, but you can see things got a little crazy there at 10:12. All right, let's get this all set up. Let's see, where's the all-time high is on the SPY 489.12, about 90 cents where we are right now. I think there's a decent shot we see a new all-time high today. I really, really do. I really, really do. Want to hear a conspiracy theory? Yeah, you share your conspiracy theory, and then we'll do the crypto breakdown for the day, get you guys up to date on all the craziness. So yes, Egg, the floor is yours. The community wants to know, what's your conspiracy theory? I see Thick Trades was created. Is that the new place for us to exchange our full frontal content? Yes, exactly. For those of you in the Discord, thick trades is where we're going to exchange full frontal content, and then also it'll be my trades. Without a doubt. That's what thick trades is all about. Did I get out of my Tesla puts? No. Why would I? It's January 29th, and those expire on February 9th. It's not a day trade by any means. Not a day trade. Not a day trade. Ah, nice. I'm up $70. Ah, now I'm down 15. Why did my commissions already cost me $70 today, dude? Why are they costing me so much? Plot twist. Wait. What was I think Tay-Tay was brought in to make Brittany look better. Brittany Mahomes. Plot twist. Brittany will leave Mahomes for Tay-Tay. And Mahomes will spend an unusual amount of time with Travis and Jason. That's your conspiracy theory? Like a NFL-wide, like romantic relationship kind of switch up? I like how you're not only predicting the initial conspiracy, but I like how you're predicting how it's going wrong. Like, it was brought in to make Brittany more tolerable because apparently no one likes her, and for good reason if you've seen any of it. But I like how you're predicting that it's going to blow up in the face. Like the people who are attempting to marionette the situation. I love that you have a prediction that you're like, no, it's not gonna last for him. An interesting twist of Mahomes spending too much time with Jason and Travis. We have problems. All right, we have problems. If you haven't been paying attention to it, yes, Bitcoin in the short term took a little bit of a hit after the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. But since then, it almost is as if we had a fake out breakdown and price is starting to revert. And I'm going to go over that, the short-term price action of the key breakout levels. But what's more interesting is how the whales are actually handling this situation. I'm talking about the billionaires with big dinero and how they're handling it. And the TLDR, in case you don't feel like really watching this, is they're getting more bullish than we've ever seen them. So very quickly, Bitcoin currently trading just above 42K, which puts the market cap of old digital gold at 825 billion. Now, in terms of that price action, obviously Bitcoin ripped. There was the whole FOMO, buy the rumor, sell the news event with the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. Then it looked as if it was about to break down. The price could not hold the EMA cloud. It could not hold this trend line. And right when things looked a little bit dire, almost like the end of that one season with Game of Thrones and Jon Snow, and I don't want to give away any like spoiler alerts here, but everyone's like, uh-oh, that doesn't seem good. And then we had to wait a year, and then the whole new season started, and we're all like, what? That kind of feels like what's going on right now. So I very much care about Bitcoin holding this level in the short term, 42K, because it's the top of the EMA cloud. But I would argue things get particularly spicy and interesting, if you will, above 43.5K. I think that opens up a door to a reversion of the high 40. So in the short term, if you're an active trader, that's what I'm paying attention to. And if you want to be an active trader, hey, have at it. I wish you the best of luck. Like, obviously, you got to have some sort of solid risk management system, but sometimes it is a little bit easier just to be an investor. But hey, you can make money in a million different ways, and whatever way you choose, I hope you crush it. So let's talk about these whales. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF first to reach $2 billion in assets under management. Folks, do you realize how quickly that happened? In a mere 2 weeks, $2 billion was sent to BlackRock to manage Bitcoin. The fund now holds nearly 50,000 Bitcoin after adding almost another 4.3 thousand tokens on Thursday alone to conclude last week. The BlackRock iShares Bitcoin ETF, IBIT, on Friday became the first of the recently launched spot Bitcoin products to reach $2 billion in assets under management. This doesn't include Grayscale's GBTC, which had nearly $30 billion in assets under management at the time of this conversion from a closed-end fund to a spot ETF. Investors added about $170 million to IBIT on Thursday, with the fund purchasing nearly another 4.3 thousand Bitcoin, and now obviously their total just below 50,000 Bitcoin. That is crazy and happened so rapidly. With the price of Bitcoin rising well above 40,000 level early Friday, that brought AUM to just above 2 billion. The next fund to cross 2 billion will be Fidelity's, their Wise Origin Bitcoin fund, the FBTC, which held just shy of 44. So it's in, well, it kind of depends on first, second, third, if you're counting GBTC or not. But really, a lot of people, when they're thinking about numero uno, they're thinking about BlackRock, they're thinking about IBIT, which just crossed 2 billion. And right now in current prices is even higher. And then it seems as if Fidelity's, their spot Bitcoin ETF will be crossing that threshold pretty soon. I wouldn't be so surprised if like one of these days, a couple months down the line, I'm talking about it having 5 billion in assets under management. I think that's very, very possible this calendar year. I know it's a little bit of an optimistic, bullish prediction, but I just really wouldn't be taken by surprise if that happens. And you know who else won't be taken by surprise? These massive Bitcoin billionaire whales. Bitcoin whales boosted CoinStash by 3 billion in January. While Bitcoin ETFs have experienced net inflows of 820 million, Bitcoin whales increased holdings by about 3 billion this year alone. Folks, we're not even done with the month of January. Crypto whales, or large investors, have accumulated $3 billion worth of BTC. The amount of Bitcoin held in wallets owning over 1,000 Bitcoin has increased by roughly 76,000 Bitcoin to nearly 7.8 million Bitcoin. While Bitcoin ETFs have seen net inflows of 820 million USD, Bitcoin whales have seen an increase of 3 billion USD so far in 2024. And right here, you can kind of see what's going on, the total balance and then the price. So this blue line is the whales. And you can really see ever since the start of this year, they have been averaging in dollar cost averaging, DCA, and they hold and hold and hold. What's really interesting about this metric is not only are they getting, well, arguably financially more bullish on this by the amount of money they're putting into it, but we can also see that just from their duration of holding, these are people who acquire, and never are giving it back. They're just holding Bitcoin, which is, I guess, another way to look at the bullishness of the situation. Several observers and investment banks, including Standard Chartered, expect the recently launched ETFs to pull billions of dollars into investments, lifting the cryptocurrency's market cap to 100,000 USD by the end of 2024. Now, for those of you who care about the Gregorian calendar, we're in 2024. As in, the prediction by Standard Chartered by the end of this year is 100K. If you look at what's going on with ARK Invest, a couple years down, their base case is 600,000, and then looking at a bull case of over 1 million. That's, I believe, for the end of 2025. There is a lot of good reason to be excited, and a lot of people are putting their money where their mouth is. But just to be as balanced as I possibly can, I want to let you know that not everyone is necessarily absurdly bullish. Obviously, there's some curmudgeons out there like Jim Cramer, like Peter Schiff, but even some people who are actually supportive of Bitcoin in the short term, like, maybe a bit more of a pullback is necessary. Bitcoin could fall back to the mid $20,000 area. The former crypto lead at Cathie Wood's ARK Invest remains bullish over the long term. And this is all about Chris Berniski, I believe. Berniski, I think is how you pronounce it. Chris, if you're watching this and I'm butchering your name, my apologies. The local bottom for Bitcoin has yet to be hit, according to Chris Berniski, partner of venture capital firm Placeholder and former crypto lead to ARK Invest. He said the price dropping to at least $30,000 to $36,000 range. Wouldn't be surprised mid-high 20,000 area were tested prior to an eventual move towards all-time highs. As always, patience is your friend. The path to get there will be volatile, expect fake outs, and will take months to play out. While the long-term trend, quote unquote, remains robust, he added, we also see many of our first parabolas of the cycle, and they're now breaking. Macro looks precarious on a number of levels. New product innovations are close, but not quite there yet. Things still feel insular. Never said I'm majorly de-risking, more just counting my bullets and sharpening my blade. So what he's saying is, hey, there could be some craziness. In the short term, don't be so surprised if there's a hit. And if there is a hit, it sounds like he's more than prepared to be loading up in that situation. In my personal assumption, and once again, this is just my prediction, so take it with a grain of salt, I actually don't think Bitcoin's ever going to dip back into the 20,000s again. I think right now with the new regulatory clarity, with the establishment of these ETFs, and really just with the exposure that the quote unquote average person now has to it, I think there is a higher odds situation than not that it never dips into the 20,000 region again. Obviously, this is just a prediction. I'm not a fortune teller, but I think we've actually created a super strong base in the mid 30s, and maybe that's revisited. But if anything, I think there's a better chance of bouncing off of that, especially as we continue to get this type of bullish momentum. Now, for me, I've attempted to actively trade crypto in the past, to some success, to some failure. But for me personally, I've had more success just holding it. But recently, a lot of people have been reaching out saying, hey, like if I want to degenerately trade it, where could I go? And the one that I've tested around with it in the past, Margex. So I wanted to share this with you. Might be of interest. You can get up to 100x leverage. I'm not saying that's appropriate for probably anyone, because if you're at 100x leverage and it goes down 1%, that means that your entire trade's blown out. But maybe just something for you to consider. If you use the code Goonie, they are actually going to give you like a 20% deposit match for commissions. So you could trade at first, basically based on your whatever your match is, effectively for free, and you're not going to have to pay those. So feel free to check it out. I'll link it, but this is where some people are actively trading. I'm seeing that's becoming more popular, but I do just want to take a quick second. Remember, not your keys, not your coin. Maybe don't leave all your crypto on exchange. Get your trade in, and then when you're happy, store it in a place that's a little bit more safe. So yeah, if you want to actively trade, if you want to be a degen about it, you can make a lot of money because there's a lot of volatility, but maybe be a bit more mindful of protecting your actual downside. And obviously, wish you best of luck with it. Let me know how it goes. And what are these alerts that are going off? Alerts. What alerts are going off? Oh, what was that? What happened? Did it just start to absolutely dump when I started talking about Bitcoin? What happened at 10:20? What's going on today? PayPal is was getting rocked last week. Bouncing back a little bit, actually saving itself at the EMA cloud. So they had some sort of horrible innovation day and it dropped from 66 down to 60. Looks like maybe it's recovering. If I got into it, my risk would be 59. Or maybe if I wanted to play it a little bit closer, 60. And maybe you could catch the bounce out of here. But in all reality, I'm not going to play PayPal because I just don't really particularly care about it. There's enough apparent craziness in the S&P 500. What happened here? Out of nowhere. Was there a report? Yes, Ken Griffin's listening to YouTubers again. Dude, he's never stopped. He never stopped. I wonder if Rum is affected once Crowder goes live and talks about the letter from BlackRock. Is he doing that today? We could listen in. AMC CEO Adam Aron is blaming Hollywood strikes for ruinous of the 2024 box office. Dude, that guy... he deserves to be in jail, truly. He's such a piece of shit. Tesla bouncing a little bit. Rum had a nice push coming down, still up, green on the day. DWAC's a bit more red. The biggest mover I'm seeing right now is Coin. Coin is up 6%, at least on the watch list that I have saved here. Coin up 6%. I guess it's just because crypto is picking up, holding 42K. Holding 42K. Don't forget, sign up for public, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. You'll get some sort of bonus, but beyond that, you're going to continually get a bonus when you trade just because you get 50% of your payment for order flow back, which no other broker does. You literally have no reason to be on the likes of Robinhood, Webull, any of those. Like they just don't have your back. U.S. Defense Secretary Austin says neither he nor Biden will tolerate attacks on U.S. forces and will take, quote unquote, all necessary actions to defend them. Whoa there, brother. SoFi's they had good earnings. SoFi, SOFI, up 22% now. Yeah, they had pretty good earnings. Really good earnings. Jeez Louise there, camper. Jeez Louise there, camper. Look at that. Upside gap fill, you could target 952. I have no SoFi position, but there's clearly an upside gap fill to 952. Ripped, got hit, couldn't consolidate and hold, broke down, but good earnings popping up. Was trading at 770, now up 22%. That's crazy. I don't believe I have a SoFi. I'm pretty sure I don't have a SoFi position. Yeah. So SoFi crushing it today. Coin crushing it today. Obviously, Rum's on the watch just to see if he can push that roughly 650 level. I don't know what happened with the SPY there. I'm praying it's a fake out because I put on a bullish position, but I'm seeing the options already bounce back. So as long as the options continue to trend that way, I'll feel pretty confident about my bullish position. But that was not ideal. I very much would prefer that the SPY just holds 488 so I don't have to sweat my position all day. That would be less than ideal, especially because I kind of took an oversized position. Maybe that wasn't my smartest move. Maybe not my smartest move. Let's see the split between this. So puts are now, so on that flush, puts started to get covered pretty aggressively. So people seemingly taking their put profits. Price gets crushed, puts start to lighten up. And then also calls at first got crushed. They're like, uh-oh, what did we do wrong? But now it seems as if some of the money is flowing back into it. So for things to be bullish, you'd want to see these top two lines go up, more aggressive in calls, and you'd want to see the puts lighten up their load, as in less bearish bets. But then obviously if the opposite happened, if calls start to dip and puts start to dip, that would technically be puts increasing and calls being closed out. So it's interesting to see how this is actually going, but would prefer, honestly, just to see the net delta make a new intraday high, but time will tell. Ooh, that's not good for me. That, not the best vibe for me. What is happening today? What strange movement. Is it because of whatever this announcement, like, do we have some political announcements? Let's see what Bloomberg's saying. Maybe there's something that we're missing that's Bloomberg markets. Bloomberg.
Business, FanDuel, and I think for us to have access to the world's
Nope, they're not covering anything of importance. It's CNBC. Another dude, a new low. What the fuck? The SPY just tagged a new intraday low. The 5-minute not looking good. The 10-minute not looking good. Potential reversal. I'm going to be watching this 30-minute bar on the S&P 500 futures market to see if this bar does close below the cloud, the 48 EMA here, or if this is just like a dip and a rip. But something is causing people to rightfully freak out, man. What in the world? That's crazy. All right, let's move this to here. Move this to here. I will be monitoring the options market to look at this, see how puts just got more aggressive and then calls started to get unloaded. That's definitely a bit bearish. But let's see if the trend does or doesn't hold. 50,000 are already watching Crowder. Am I missing something? What else? What else is going on? What is this? The whatever podcast. They always have spicy little hot takes.
Go ahead. What's your take?
Oh, I'm just very adamant about paying for the first date, especially if it's somebody that I really like.
Just a point of clarification. When you say paying for the first date, do you mean paying for your stuff or paying for both?
Everything, yeah.
You'll pay for the dude?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want to show.
So.
She's a queen.
It's good. It's good. Okay.
I just really like showing like that I care, and I feel like guys deserve to be treated too. So that for me, but it can go 50-50. Sometimes the guys really don't like it. And sometimes the guys really do like it and they like enjoy it. But I always say like, hey, I'll pay for the first date, you pay for the second, and that like also insinuates
Welcome back.
that
I'm
we'll see
Silvana
each other
Henao
again.
with your CNBC News update.
Sorry, that got completely
pressure
ruined.
is mounting this morning for President Biden to respond to the killing of 3 U.S. troops in
Is
Jordan.
this why things are
Dozens
going
more were
wild?
Injured Sunday in drone strikes by Iran-backed militants. White House officials say the president is now working through his options, but stress the administration does not want a wider war with Iran. Meanwhile, negotiators from Israel, the U.S., Egypt, and Qatar agreed on a framework for a new hostage deal in Gaza. A source familiar with the talks tells NBC News the deal would see the release of the remaining American and Israeli hostages in phases, beginning with women and children. That would be accompanied by phased pauses in fighting in Gaza, along with the exchange of Palestinian prisoners. The source says the deal will be presented to Hamas today. And Kate Middleton is out of the hospital nearly 2 weeks after undergoing planned abdominal surgery. Kensington Palace says she will now take a prolonged period of rest, putting her normally busy schedule on hold, Carl.
Important for us to know. Why is that news?
Meantime, elections around the world will be front and center this year. More than 45% of the global voting population will head to the polls. Our next guest has a new op-ed in the FT today discussing why political leaders are so unpopular right now. Rockefeller International Chairman Ruchir Sharma joins us this morning.
Oh my
Ruchir,
God.
It's great to have you back. Fascinating piece. You look at 20 democracies all around the world and
Is
try
this
to
a
explain
vampire?
why their overall approval ratings are so low.
Is CNBC interviewing a vampire?
Joe Biden's approval
Is it the light from Zoom? Like, because it's a cutout. What's happening?
Because they're close to record lows. But what I find remarkable is that if you look at the approval ratings of leaders across.
Don't look him in the eyes. Something scary might happen. Let's go back to this because I thought this was a good clip. It's kind of interesting. I do want to get your thoughts on it.
Go ahead. What's your take?
I'm just very adamant about paying for the first date, especially if it's somebody that I really like.
Just a point of clarification. When you say paying for the first date, you mean paying for your stuff or paying for both?
Everything, yeah.
You'll pay for
everything.
the dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want to show.
Sup?
She's a queen.
Sup?
It's good. Okay.
I just really like showing like that I care, and I feel like guys deserve to be treated too. So that for me, but it can go 50-50. Sometimes the guys really don't like it. And sometimes the guys really do like it and they like enjoy it. But I always say like, hey, I'll pay for the first date, you pay for the second. And that like also insinuates that we'll see each other again.
Go ahead. What's your take?
That's not only pretty smart from just like getting an additional date, but I don't know, like that's the now she's actually caring about equality. This is a new step into the age of 50-50 equality. It's interesting that I don't know, on this particular podcast, you don't really hear that too often. Like usually it's a little bit more of contentious takes, but that's a pretty base take on equality in all reality. Like, I don't know. I guess on whenever I see these clips, I expect something where like we're all just going to kind of like rag on it and like make fun of them for a while. But that was actually kind of crazy. Wait, what? Gideon says he regrets signing to Rumble and gives Aiden Ross an apology.
He kind of regretted going with Rumble instead of Kick. Like, I was like, dang, I wish I went with Kick, you know? But, hey, can't go back in the past, so it just is what it is. But, yo, Kick fam, I will admit, Aiden, you know, you guys are sitting this to Aiden, I was wrong. You know, I am not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, you know, and I was wrong. Welcome to Kick. Appreciate y'all. He kind of regretted.
I'm pretty sure Rumble treated him like super, super well. And now he's saying that he regrets it. Matt, the truckers heading to the border. All right. What do I need? Truckers heading to border. Is this being streamed? Fucking, that's so sick. Convoy claiming to be God's army heading to Texas to protest border crisis. Biblical monumental moment. Imagine being the guy who has the balls to be like, yo, what should we call this? Like, there had to be some sort of like PR team, some ideas or something like that. And they're like, we should call it God's army. I am a warrior in the army of light for Jesus himself. That's like, it took some big balls on someone to be like, this is God's army. Oh yeah. This can't just be like a protest about an incompetent like political decision. They're like, we are God's army. God's army. God is sending us. Block. A group whose members have described themselves as God's army, a little presumptuous, is heading to the southern border to protest record number of migrants illegally crossing over from Mexico. Organizers with Take Our Border Back say they will want to stand up to globalists who have believed are conspiring to let migrants illegally flood the country. This is biblical, monumental moment that's been put together by God. God put this together. Fuck yeah, brother. God spent all weekend putting this convoy together. That's pretty crazy, though. Is there trucker or there? I want to see if there's video of it. He looks like he's a member of God's army. This guy's saying that they're trying to turn it into a another January 6th. Don't fall for it. Do not congregate in or around the hot zone in Eagle Pass.
I am the lawyer for this organization, the Take Our Border Back convoy, this trucker convoy that is going down to the border this week. And yesterday, after sitting in on a lot of meetings and getting a lot of information about this, I started to have this just gut feeling that something is very wrong here. And being a Christian, I asked God, are you trying to say something to me? And immediately I got this huge epiphany. Oh my gosh, the feds are trying to turn this into January 6th 2.0. That is exactly.
Just want to throw in there, might be an epiphany. Could be. Also could be schizophrenic. That's what they don't really get into in the Bible, of the delineation between, are you having a serious mental episode, or is the cosmic creator actually telling you something? It's a tough delineation. It really, really is. Master electrician, you said, Matt bought $9.29 SoFi calls, exercise or so. Are you trading it or are you investing in it? I mean, if you want to be invested in it, you could exercise and you have a pretty good price. But if you're just trading it, you're just trading it, You might want to just take that money and run on to the next exciting opportunity.
Exactly what's happening here. And so, I've discussed this with the leadership. We do have very good reason. That is, in fact, what is going on. And so what I'm here to tell you is do not go to the border. If you want to participate in the Take Our Border Back rally, the trucker rally, go to takeourborderback.com. It will tell you where to go. It's going to be on somebody's private land, away from the hot zone.
Why do these websites always look like this?
And there will be speakers.
Like,
it will be a peaceful demonstration.
There's no
it will be a prayer rally.
Good web developer that maybe doesn't have a pixelated picture.
And the Texas National Guard, because that is exactly what they want. I just saw this. I'm like, it feels exactly like January 6th. You can see all the pre-programming in the media, and the fact that we announced this trucker rally, or this convoy like 45 days ago. And then between now and then, you have this outrageous Supreme Court decision that is completely insane.
Hire
and
one
nobody can understand
website
how a conservative court could possibly have made this decision.
Like, on Monday, a trucker convoy. All right, so the guy actually got on to Tucker Carlson. On Monday, a trucker convoy heads to Texas to try to protect our country from an invasion. A conversation with the leaders, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's see what this has to.
The state of Texas appears to be on a kind of collision course with the Biden administration, with the federal government over the southern border. Can it be protected, or must the invasion continue? The Supreme Court has weighed in on this to some limited extent, but it hasn't solved the problem or answered the question. So what happens now? Things are moving very quickly, and it seemed like there was no one better to tell us what the future may hold than the Attorney General of the state in question, Ken Paxton, who joins us now. Mr. Attorney General, thank you so much for coming on.
He looks like an Attorney General from Texas.
That's the question. Where does this go? It seems like there are two large forces speeding toward each other, no one's swerving. What happens, do you think?
I don't think anybody knows exactly what happened, because we're in uncharted territory where we have a federal government that is largely not just ignored federal law, not just ignored their...
Sorry to interrupt. I just had this idea, and maybe it's schizophrenia, maybe it's God reaching down her powerful almighty hand and speaking to me directly. But I just want to share a concept. And if anyone is from Texas and maybe you have the idea to take this up, maybe Texas shouldn't have an attorney general. Maybe they should have a lead cowboy or cowgirl. But like, I think that'd be cooler because like all these other states have attorney generals. That's old. That's been done before. We've had those guys. But it's 2024. It's time we go back to cool, creative, interesting, novel ideas. And I think there should be a lead, a head, a captain cowboy, a captain cowgirl. I think there should be like a top tier cowboy or girl who leads this state. Just throwing that out there.
Their constitutional role to protect the state and the country, they're actually participating with the cartels and bringing people here as fast as they possibly can.
Lead Texas
I don't
Ranger.
think we've ever seen
Just call up
anything
Chuck
like
Norris.
this in our
I'm
country
down.
where we have a federal government
I'm down.
not doing their job, but
this is actually serious, Matt. My suggestion was that the fact that you said that makes it sound like you're not taking my suggestion serious. They are both of the utmost serious. Just to clarify.
affirmatively working with bad people to do bad things to the country. I don't remember anything like this.
So can I just ask you something? Since you're a law enforcement, you're the chief law enforcement officer of your state,
but not
can you assess whether what the Biden administration is doing now is, strictly speaking, criminal? Are they breaking the law in how they're handling the border?
I think they are. I mean, they're taking federal law and dismantling it. He has a constitutional duty to implement what has been put in place by the elected representatives.
Yes.
And he's just not doing that. And he's making up his own rules as we go that allow the cartels to gain a foothold, a really strong foothold in the United States, not just in my state, but really across they're building a network across the country so that they can keep doing this well after Biden's gone.
So just to like the next few days or weeks or months or who knows, the Biden administration has effectively threatened your state and said you've got 24 hours to do something. What are they demanding that you do, and where does this go short term, do you think?
You know, I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to do. I mean, is it we're supposed to let them help them cut down wire and fences? We weren't ordered to do that by anybody that I know of, and so we have no obligation to help them violate federal law, and we're not going to do it. And I don't think Abbott's going to give in.
The cues are getting hit.
I certainly don't plan on giving in. So they're pushing us to help them, and we're not going to help them violate federal law. We're going to try to defend our border the best we can with the resources we have. And my job is to do it in court. Abbott has other resources at his disposal, and I hope he uses every single one of them to stop this.
There's not one power center in this country, the media, the government at all levels and both parties, big business. There's not one power center in the United States that would like to see secure borders. And so, of course, we haven't had secure borders, and now we're being invaded, and no one's really doing anything about it. So it's just a matter of time before citizens who love their country, in many cases who have served their country overseas, decided to get a little more active in protecting their country. And that's why we're about to see the Take Our Border Back convoy. It begins on January 29th. Truckers, bikers, anyone who wants to come and protect the United States and demand that our government secure our southern border is welcome. They'll be driving to Texas, and one of the people who will help them navigate that state is Dr. Pete Chambers. Chambers is, true to his title, a physician. He's a former Green Beret. He was recently down in Eagle Pass, Texas, and here's part of what he saw.
Doc Chambers from Eagle Pass, Texas. Today's the 18th of December. We're out here at the point of entry. 5,000 are sitting on the ground right now. It's increasing as we go along. Information that we've received says another 7,000 should be processed through this particular point by morning. Joe and I have been here many times. Last time we were down here, we were in uniform, and now I'm a civilian and in the Army of God. So we'll keep
the Army of God. That's so sick.
And, you need to get this video to your legislators and tell them, in the state of Texas particularly, this is out of control.
Wait, so was he on a cowboy?
Particularly, this video to your legislators and tell them, in the state of Texas particularly, this is out of control.
Oh, I thought he was on a horse.
So not surprisingly, Dr.
Pete
Chambers has been attacked by dying legacy media outlets as a deeply scary person, because your country being invaded is not scary. It's all totally normal. We thought it would be worth talking to Dr. Pete Chambers about what he expects to happen with this convoy and his role in it. He joins us now. Dr. Chambers, thank you so much for coming on.
Market's looking pretty heavy.
So what can we expect with this convoy? Can you describe what it is and what its purpose is?
Right. This is a peaceful assembly. This is what we do as Americans. This is how we shed light to a subject. This shedding of the light will result in exposing really what an open border policy looks like.
Yes.
We know that we know the problem sets in Texas, But literally, I promise you this, that 40 miles north of that border, there will be people that will never have heard of the border problem because they just watch mainstream media.
Yes.
And so this is what that is about.
And so can you tell us the route of the convoy and who you expect to join it?
Right. So right now, they're going to be leaving out of, on the 29th, Virginia Beach, which is where the 1607 Covenant, the landing, which signified the John Smith landing in 1607, where they planted a cross on the beach and said, hey, this is a covenant to this nation, to God. And then they're going to leave from there, and they're going to go down through Florida. They're going to cut across Highway 10 through Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Houston, into Dripping Springs, Texas, where I'll be working out of, and then on to near Eagle Pass. Now, I'm part of the advisory of this, and as I advised, I used to be in that same unit that's down there. That's the unit that has a streamer on it from the Alamo. It's a very historic Texas unit. And so they are down there holding the line. And I know those soldiers. I worked with them. I took care of them as a doctor with Operation Lone Star. They're busy. So the
Alamo did not end the best for the U.S.,
north,
just
really,
to remind everyone.
In an area about 30 miles away in Quemado, Texas, to a children's camp, a beautiful lady down there who has taken care of orphans and widows. You can't write this stuff in a book. I couldn't make this up. But she was overrun, first of all, by the COVID mandates that said, you got to shut down. You can't keep running this shelter, number one. Number two, she was overrun by the numbers of volumes of illegals that were coming through her neighborhood, trying to get into her food pantry. And then number three, the cartels are a significant presence in that area because that is the end point of where they do the end around. So we are looking at the bright, shiny object that is Eagle Pass. That's a bright, shiny object. Look here. The droids that you're not looking for, if you will, are just to the north, right in that location. And so what this is going to do is it's going to bring light to it because we have to understand there is a constitution, both state and federal, and that we have to, number one, expose those that argue things in the Hegelian dialectics,
options,
if you will,
picking up a bit,
and look at the Constitution, which is exactly what this is a focus on. The Constitution, we the people. That's why we the people will be riding along, mama bears, cops, veterans, truckers, and going to that location
What's a mama
to bring
bear?
light. There is nothing nefarious about this. Matter of fact, I am suggesting to them that they and they know this, that this is a peaceful demonstration. This is how this will be.
So feels like that's really picking up in intensity. Our official statement on BlackRock. Oh, this has to be exciting. It's short though. Is he just telling them to go F themselves? This could get intense.
Last Thursday, and I mentioned this on Instagram, BlackRock requested to Rumble to have this removed and gone after all of our vendors to try and remove, well, I guess, undo your support and ensure that, we cannot make a living. However, we always have to take ownership over our mistakes. And if there is a mistake that we've made, obviously legally there are ramifications. So our official response today to BlackRock is go fornicate yourself. And if you don't like it, talk to Chris Pavlovsky, CEO of Rumble. I'm sure he'll get right on that. Good luck. Last Thursday, and I mentioned this.
You have to love that happens, and then the stock's also like doing well, like just the timing of it, up 7, almost 8%. Oh god, that's funny. Yeah, Bitcoin's pumping. Rum's having a good day. SPY's not looking the best, but maybe turning around. We just saw the options pop a bit right here, like a weird jut down, but then popping back up, puts being covered, calls being purchased. So I'd feel a bit more confident if the SPY gets closer to 488. Obviously, would love to see the Qs recapture 424.50, but wick, lower high. So like we're getting this like weird, I don't know, wedge structure almost in the tech, in the tech index. What are we at? What are we at? I was thinking about adding to my position because I think we might be bouncing back, but the question is, do I have the balls to do it? Do I have the balls to do it? Maybe I could better my average a little bit. We'll see. Rum's actually getting going right now. Rum's about to make a new intraday high. Dude, is Rum moving? Is Rum going to hit 7 today? Look at that. Look at that butte, Clark. Look at that butte. Look at that butte. Let's dive in on Rum. Live numbers. I want the live numbers. Little bit of a return today. Borrowed 120,000, returned 167. So the net is a bit of a return. So are the shorts about to start throwing in the average cost of borrow is still $333,000. That's crazy. All right, obviously I'll monitor this throughout the day, but the big report will come after the market closes. It's just the short interest skyrocketing, 18.5. Cost of borrow skyrocketing, 71, 72. Utilization now maxed out at 100%. Wild, 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 wild. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Are we gonna? Is this a fake out breakdown? What I'm really watching is right here. So the 5 minute sold kind of flat, but on the bottom side of the cloud on this time frame, obviously bearish. The 10 minute, it did get hit, but maybe it's trying to recapture. But as I alluded to almost a half hour ago, I'm like, okay, where's this bar going to close? Is the 30-minute bar going to close below the cloud, below this 48 EMA, or is it going to try to get saved? And obviously, we're going to find out in about 3 minutes. So started off as bullish on all these time frames, and then at 10:15 randomly started to take a hit. So we're going to see how this actually, I don't know, plays itself. Ooh, options are dipping again, though. Something's going on today. Is there really this much? I guess, is it just all the concern about what's happening in the Middle East, what's happening in China? Evergrande, not a good situation whatsoever. We have things going on in Texas. Eminem enjoying Detroit Lions playing the 49ers. Ooh. I can't find the fellow that challenge every fru on here to show 3 years broker statements. For the life of me, I can't recall who it is. Showed his trophies in training. Can you invite him to join us this year too? Help me out. Well, ICT, questionable. Lance is actually a legitimate proven champion trader who's made many millions of dollars. I'm going to be living rent-free inside the head of that invented the algo running the stock market. P.S. There's no algo running the market. And certainly this documented fraud did not develop it. Very easy to prove me wrong with audited broker statement. That's fair. How are people falling for this? A guy that's never shown his trades? I know there was, I'm not sure if this was the same guy, exposing ICT. I guess if he wins the Robbins thing, people... So what you're saying is you've acknowledged it and you're still yet to show 3 years of broker statements? No, I'm saying I will ragdoll his ass in it too. So why not throw... if you're that confident, show your brokerage statements. I guess. Who's Raja Banks? Dude, I guess this is a part of FinTwit that I'm just not... Robbins World Cup trading. What? These are all the people competing? I should compete. I'll just do no trades and keep my account at break even and just bet on those guys losing money. So that's how I could win. Oh, wait. I want the... Got him. Oh, I'm focusing on Twitter because the market's going against me. So I'm a little bit distraught. It didn't bounce the way I wanted to. Bitcoin's looking good. Rum's looking good. The Qs, the SPY. I need this to pull a major U-turn right about now, folks. A major U-turn. I'm straight up not having a good time, straight up. Ooh. Are we going for the 11 a.m. reversal? Maybe the thing that'll help make the market reverse is actually going through some of your reacts. Let's do that. I think I'll feel better going through some of these reacts. All right, what do we have here? Conor McGregor shows off his luxurious $888,000 roulette watch. Conor McGregor, Jesus.
We got all in on Black 11.
$888,000.
We got completely in on Black 11.
Really?
Oh, no, yeah.
That is kind of cool that you can play roulette, though.
We got red 14.
14 red.
Above fuck.
Bastille Day. 14th of July.
That's actually ridiculous, but that's what you get when you're a multi-millionaire. For any amount is crazy.
All right, so would you guys cheat for $100?
100?
I mean, that's a lot of money. God, come on. It's a lot of money, bro.
100 to cheat?
It's a lot of money, though. No, I'm not cheating for $100. That's weird. I think I would cheat for $100.
Would you cheat right now then for $100?
Yeah, I think I would. I really do. I would cheat for $100.
Oh, like for real?
Yes, for real. There's something wrong.
With me?
Oh my God, yeah. For $100, yes. Literally.
I hope this is
go.
staged.
Yo.
This better be staged.
PogChamp.
Yes. Oh God.
All right, so would you guys...
That has to, right? It has to be staged. Do we need men?
Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
Honestly, no.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because they suck.
Do we need men? Obviously. We also need women. Duh.
Do we need...
What's with this concept of like trying to pit the two genders against each other? Obviously, we need each other. That's the way the world works. This idea of like, no, like this one's better and the other one's like, dude, we need each other. It's how it is. I don't make the rules, man. Joe Biden blames Elton John for AIDS.
By the way, it's all his fault that we're spending $6 billion in taxpayer money this month to help AIDS. By the way,
dude has such a way with words, such a way with articulation. It's all his fault. I know what he was going for there. Like, oh, he's like really leading the charge here, but just that clip. The Gen Z labor force truly is a new breed. All right, this is going to be a good one.
When asked to come in for an 8 a.m. meeting, my Gen Z new hire said, ugh, sorry, I can't make it. I have a workout class. Should this be allowed?
My visceral reaction was, are you fucking kidding me?
No, fully, like angered, typing this out. I was like, please.
Like my hand's shaking and it's not from the caffeine.
You just started this job. I don't give a flying shit about your workout class.
Gotta
Also,
hit
an 8
the
a.m. workout
Church of
class is
Iron.
too late. Workout at 6, maybe 7.
No, it's too early.
Yeah, Natalie. So we can talk about this more later, but I'm going to address this now. It was made very clear during the interview process that the working hours for this position is between 9 to 5 p.m. Eastern time, and I am on Eastern time. I made that very clear with HR because I have commitments outside of work. I go to the gym, I work out because I care about my health. Sure, I can make a sacrifice to go to an 8 a.m. meeting had I known at least a week before that I needed to go at 8 a.m., not a day before. Also, my workout class starts at 7:30, not at 8, but I didn't know that I needed to tell you that. Okay, let's just say I skipped the gym. 2 things. When can I expect you to reimburse me for my class? And 2, are you going to be paying me from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., or at the very least, let me leave at 4 p.m.? Natalie, if your answer to both of those are no, then there's no discussion needed. I will see you at 9 o'clock today. Also, I sent an email to HR about this and sent them the link to that TikTok video. So, just to make things clear.
My thoughts are just to not go to work. Like, I'm not on either of their sides. Obviously, I guess he had a workout class at 7:30 and then he didn't go, or like he didn't want to go to an early meeting because I guess it wasn't in his thing. And then she was angry of like, you got to make time for work. Dude, let's be honest. Work's a drag, man. And like, if you're just not feeling the vibes of it, what's the point in general? If I'm working a 9 to 5, You're lucky to see me by 11:30. Lunch is at 12, gets done at 2. I'm signing off and I'm heading home by 2:30 at max. And that's if you're like lucky, man. It's just, dude, it's just not a vibe. And if it's not a vibe, like why waste your good vibes on a bad vibe situation? For both of these people, neither of whom I agree with, because they're all like, well, I'm going to get in my 40 hours. It's just like the total vibes don't add up. And I think that's the real travesty here is they're forgetting the vibe count. Across the board, they are forgetting the vibe count. Oh, we have a couple more. Ooh, the market started to bounce a little bit. Maybe we should keep doing this. Big fact. Exactly. See, you guys are smart, though. That's why you get it. That's why you're in here. Because, like, you're like, this is basically a high-end PhD level finance stream. So you guys, of course, get it. But remember, you're not the average person. Like, there's things that go on in your mind that you're going to consider that the average person and even actual other like geniuses who are just below your level are not going to be considering. We're just on different planes. And in here, you guys have to remember that we're on a very special plane. And most other people are not even going to be like at all accounting for total vibes, for net vibes on situation. So I get where you're coming from and it's obvious to you, but please remember, you're also not quote unquote normal. No. Fat no from me. I would have shit my pants by now. Twice. What? How does a human do this? No. Bring me down. Let me down. I want my mom. No. No. I'm not. No. She's going to do it. Does she have superpowers? No. Get it, girl. Oh, wow.
That was so hard.
Yeah.
That was so hard.
Dude, she would beat the shit out of me and I would be happy. That is an athlete. Holy shit. The crux of a Yosemite climb 150 feet. Dude, she has bigger balls than I do. That's impressive. That's impressive. He needs to be fired. Houston baggage claim. At least he has on lumbar support. Just doesn't care.
What? Yeah. Where you throwing him? You can toss him too, homeboy.
And there's the other person who it is their bag, and why'd my bag get thrown twice? Someone whose bag it was like definitely just watched the interaction. Like, why did my bag have to get thrown twice? Caught cheating on birthday. Interesting.
You ready? All right. Damn, I got a surprise for that ass on your birthday. You looking hella good too. Thank you. Shit, damn. Hold on. Don't be peeking. I got it. Hold on. Don't be peeking now.
Don't be peeking.
There you go. Surprise, baby. Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Did you pack my thing?
Hell yeah, Hubert. You been cheating on me with Hubert.
He's just a friend.
Yeah, nah, he ain't no friend.
He wrapped him up.
I don't give a damn about your birthday. You been cheating on me with a dude named Hubert. I'll be damned.
Hubert.
It's already packed. Get your stuff and get the hell out my house. Cheat on me with a dude named Hubert. Get the hell out my
He has more of an issue with the name. The fact that it was a dude named Hubert, and then he wrapped up her stuff in a present wrapping. That guy needs his own show. I love this concept of people catching cheaters. That guy, he could be the host of it, and he would crush it. Hubert, the dude named Hubert. Dude, Rum's looking saucy. 650, holding nicely. All right, we have one with Hubert.
Reason people in Oakland are seriously struggling is because there's no jobs. There's no way to get money, to make money, to pay bills. Everything that come here closes down. Dunkin' Donuts came to Oakland. Dunkin' Donuts shut down. Can't make it no more. We have the Starbucks right here. Starbucks gone, closed down, leaving Oakland. Can't make it here no more. We just got this Raising Cane's restaurant over here. They had to close down the inside. Gone. Can't open no more. Almost every business that opens up in Oakland closes. Businesses closed. Everything closed. Next to Chipotle closed. In-N-Out Burger on the other side of this used to be a Walmart. We don't even have a Walmart in Oakland. You know you ain't got no jobs if you don't got no Walmart in your city. You know your city's struggling if you don't got no Walmart. Walmart closed down. Walmart could not survive Oakland. Oakland is a hard place to survive. We got In-N-Out Burger right there on the other side, ready to close down, and I'm pretty sure Panda went after that. Next to T-Mobile and Chipotle, the little restaurant in there closed. The little restaurants across the street.
This is how you gut a city, gut a
big
town.
Old buildings, big
So
giant
sad.
buildings, empty.
That's sad. I remember reading about this back in one of my econ classes. There's a particular name, and maybe someone in here knows it. There's a name when you have an economy that there's no middle class. You have basically, because it's Oakland and it's by the bay, you have technocrats who are billionaires, and then you have basically a super impoverished class, and there's no middle class. So basically, like if you were to do the distribution, you have impoverished people, then there's no middle class, and then there's only like the ultra wealthy. So you basically, there's a special name for like these economies and these systems that's all you have. You either have super rich or super poor, and there's nothing else. And obviously, when I was reading about it, I remember they were trying to better describe like just the Bay Area, and like right on the outskirts there, you have Oakland, and it looks like that's like what we're seeing in real time. There's a special economic name for it though, of like that type of an economy, that it's just like the rich and the poor, and there's truly no middle class. It's called California. Yeah, at this point it does appear to be freaking California. Rum's looking phenomenal. Love it. Options bouncing back a little bit. Maybe the bulls are finally showing up. Seems like a little bit of an uptrend ever since 1050. Let's see if it can keep going. I would love for this to close above 487.50. We opened above it, so the odds of closing above it, the close, are pretty good. Also, the odds of the gap are good, but we got that right out of the gate. Bitcoin 42.5K. I'm looking for Rum. My first target is it being above, which it is, 644, and closing above that. Next target is the same thing, but with $7. So looking for it to get above there. Another 50 cents. It's already up 7.8% of the day, but things are getting a little bit iffy. I just got a message on my phone on Twitter, an alert from Chris Pavlovsky on Twitter. I guess he's going to be going on with, it looks like Meghan Ann Kelly at noon o'clock today. So in about 45 minutes, if anyone, I don't know what he's like saying, not saying, I don't know what it is, but it looks like he is going on with Meghan Ann Kelly at noon o'clock ET. So in about 45 minutes. Overall, folks, that's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. Thank you. I hope you had a phenomenal weekend. I hope you're having a great Monday morning. I hope you're crushing it in the market. Later on today, I'll be posting extra content. I'll be firing out an email to everyone about how the strategy did today, if you care about that whatsoever. Also, shout out to the guys who noticed. I accidentally posted like every single day. I give you a daily update of the Piper and or Rue strategy. And then at the week, I do a week in review type of a thing. Yesterday, I apologize to everyone who's on the email listserv. I accidentally sent out last week's and this week. So obviously the second one is the appropriate one. I just accidentally copied the old title and sent it. So that's my bad. My apologies for that. I hope you can forgive me. So we'll be posting content today. I'll be firing out an email to give everyone an update. If you want to join the Discord, you could join for free. It's in the description of the video. Sign up. It's free. Just use the code Goonie, follow that link, and it should be auto-applied. And once you're in, then you'll get access to the Discord. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Shout out to Public. Don't forget to make a brokerage there. Don't forget to use that Azure Options Brokerage. You get 50% of your payment for order flow back. And also for those of you who are more interested in the degenerate futures trading, the Apex deal ends today. 80% off, 1 day pass evaluation. That deal concludes today, just so everyone knows. That's what I have for you. Appreciate all the good vibes. Catch you later. Peace out.